laps, and 27, Jimmie Spencer is in the wall.
And some heavy contact with that McDonald's car. Must be up between 3 and 4.
So for the second time in our race, the caution flag comes out as Jimmie Spencer is parked against the...
Will not win 2 races in a row.
Let's take a look at it. Well, there was smoke coming from the car. He's just simply trying to get on the brakes, Benny.
Yes, the brakes. He's got the brakes locked up. I just like the tire went flat, or he had a flat as he went in the corner, or maybe the accelerator hung as he went in turn 3.
Well, one of the hottest drivers in NASCAR Winston Cup racing has encountered a problem here in the early going. He's won contact with someone. Here, maybe we can tell what happened. That is Geoff Bodine to his inside.
Geoff Bodine is trying to get by him, and Jeff Gordon is trying to go to pits, and they make contact.
This
wow.
is out of turn 4. Jeff was trying to get to the pits and had made some contact there with Geoff Bodine.
Man, I tell you what, we saw the fella changing the left front tire, look at the fender, and I don't know if it was rubbing the tire or not.
Geoff Bodine continues to rack up the laps led. He now has been in front for 24 circuits. Oh, we have a crash.
That's Mike Chase over against the wall, the black car, and looks like Dave Marcus, the yellow car, down in the grass.
Looks like there's heavy damage to the front end of the car driven by Mike Chase there against the wall in turn number 2. And Dave Marcus has sustained some heavy damage on the left front of his car also.
Boy, there is heavy damage to that 50 car. Got that Tyson hood all warped up.
Okay.
Yes, we see it moving around.
Let's see if we can see what happened. Looks like that Chase did make contact with the Dave Marcus car, and then Dave slid to the inside and Chase kept it against the wall. Pit road is closed for the moment, but since the pace car is out there, it will be open soon for scheduled pit stops. To lead in the event, there was contact between Jeff and Brett.
Looks like there might have been some contact between those 2 cars because Brett got his car. Oh! And a Geoff Bodine spin run on turn 4 right in front of the entire field.
Look at everybody going to the inside to try to avoid the trouble. Some coming down pit road. Well, you saw there contact between brothers, Brett and Jeff. There was minor contact of the 2 in turn 3, and when they come off turn 4, it looked like there was more contact, and Jeff spun around in front of the entire field. There's Dale.
Go down in the corner. That's Brett in the green car, Jeff in the black number 7, and that just a little bit of a nudge. And Brett gets the car a little bit out of shape. Now then, we're going through the short chute between 3 and 4. Jeff takes the lead from Brett. Goes in the corner, Brett comes down. Is there contact? Yep, just a little bit of a touch. Around goes Jeff. Brett's able to get by while the car is spinning. The roof flaps come up, do their job, keep the car on the ground. Man, oh man.
There is Geoff Bodine assessing the damage. Now this is from Darrell Waltrip's roof cam. They have just touched. Let's see how Darrell maneuvers through. Boy, Benny, you just hope the smoke clears enough that you can see to get by.
Well, folks, you saw what Darrell Waltrip saw for a couple of times. Nothing. All you can see is the smoke.
It's just a matter of taking a chance from another angle. There's the contact. Jeff goes around. Brett escapes unscathed. And look how everybody avoids this incident. Many go to the left here, some down pit road. But as Brett comes back across the track, he makes heavy contact with Dale Jarrett.
That's unbelievable. I wonder if there's a speed limit down pit road under this kind of a situation.
It's a good thing there was a pit road there, or several of those cars would have been into the wall.
Once again, here's from our speed shot.
Real speed from Darrell Waltrip's roof cam. It's just a matter of luck at that point when you see something go wrong in front of you. You just hope that you can avoid it. And he did. So, an accident here has eliminated Geoff Bodine and Dale Jarrett. Back live with ABC's coverage of the inaugural Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and the caution comes out again. Another accident, this one involving Jeff Brabham and another car. Did you see who it was, Benny?
Jimmy Hensley. Hensley was able to drive away from the accident. He was down to the inside. Brabham's car came in the middle of the racetrack, as you can see. Came to a stop, and there's Hensley.
Position, and Brabham was 30th. Let's see. It looks like that Brabham got into the wall, and then as he came down to the inside, he hit Hensley.
Yeah, the 02 car, the green car right behind Brabham, was Derek Cope.
Corner number 4, Doyle Ford displays the white flag. Jeff Gordon has 2.5 miles to go before he wins this event. It'll be his second NASCAR Winston Cup victory. He brings the car through corner number 1, okay, and onto the short chute.
There's Brett Menard. It looks like Brett's getting a little bit closer, but does he have time? He is getting closer.
With less than 1/2 lap to go for Jeff Gordon. He eyes turn number 3.
Listen to the crowd as they acknowledge Jeff Gordon when he goes by.
It's an unbelievable situation in Indianapolis. Here he is in the 4th turn. This is his final trip around turn number 4. And Jeff Gordon is about to write his name in the racing history books. Years from today, when 79 stock car races have been run here, we'll remember the name. Jeff Gordon, winner of the inaugural Brickyard 400.
Man, oh man, oh man.
That works like liquid ball bearing. Little problem side of the race course now after the last round of pit stops, and the first yellow of the day flies.
There we see Jeff Burton, the Rebestis car. Let's see what we can tell what happens. There he is in front of Earnhardt. He gets the car loose, hits the wall, goes down, spins right in front of Rusty Wallace, and in the inside wall for some pretty heavy contact. Let's try to watch this from our speed shot. Here comes Jeff right at us and loses control and spins right in front of Rusty Wallace.
And all the problems Rusty had in the pit area, thinking once he got back onto the track he'd be okay, and then he narrowly missed Jeff Burton.
Lakes and slams into the brake.
Now Rusty thought the best way to avoid this thing would be to go to the inside, and it almost cost him because Burton slid to the inside.
And we see the roof flaps come up, slow the car down.
Our first caution period of the race comes with less than 30 with the white flag indicating 1 lap to go. There it is. 2.5 miles to race in the second Brickyard 400. And Dale Jarrett takes a look to the inside of Rusty Wallace for second. And Dale Earnhardt would love to see that, because as long as those two are battling side by side, it gives Earnhardt a little bit of an advantage. They go through the second corner quickly, and now they're onto the backstretch for the final time in 1995 at Indianapolis. And the interval remains about the same. About 7 or 8 car lengths. Dale Earnhardt in command of the Brickyard 400 as he enters turn number 3. And there is no battle at the moment for second position, as Dale Jarrett has settled back behind Rusty Wallace. And now for the final time, they come through corner number 4. Dale Earnhardt enters the straightaway and looks for the checkered flag this time, and he sees it. Dale Earnhardt has won the second Brickyard 400. The GM Goodrich crew celebrates Dale Earnhardt's 66th victory in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. We have occasional problems, but
crash over here in 2, crash in 2, crash over here in 2.
There's Bobby Hillin, who crashed yesterday. Ricky Craven is involved. Ever see Dave Marcus on the inside? The green and blue car is Dave Marcus.
So the accident occurred at the back of the field, and Dave Markey come in and get relief from Mike Skinner. Here's a replay. Looks like Robert Presley was the first to go around.
Robert Presley, Bobby Hillin in the 77. There's another one. And there Presley goes around. And the 41 car also spins. That's Ricky Craven. You know, I don't think there was a lot of damage.
Doesn't appear to be a lot of damage.
Danny, was there much damage to those cars?
No, they all.
Gordon has crashed.
And back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Jeff Gordon has just gotten into serious trouble coming off at turn 4. Slapped out to the wall, and now with a fire burning under the rear of the car, he heads into the pits. Bob, Benny, Danny?
Unbelievable situation here.
Gordon is going in turn 3. He goes down low, and all of a sudden it looks like the right front tire lost the air. And like Jimmy Spencer did the very first race here, almost identical spot, he hits the wall. Is that turn 3 or the 4?
It's between 3 and 4.
It's turn 4 that he actually hit the wall.
Yeah.
And he's knocked the fuel pump off, as Jack alluded to, and that's the fire that we see under the car. And there's the debris. See some stuff falling off the car.
In the pack than it was right there at the front. But these guys are just nose to tail sliding it through here, throwing up dirt. It's fabulous watching this.
Oh, Kyle Petty.
And he takes out Sterling Marlin.
And Mark Martin somehow gets by, and Kyle's going in the wall head on.
Oh, terrific impact for Kyle Petty.
Boy, that was a big hit.
Crashes in turn 4. It comes as the field was coming down to complete lap number 38. Heavy contact with the wall on the outside by Kyle Petty. He slid across the track and turn 1 camera as to what happened as Petty was coming out of corner number 4.
Looked like exactly the same thing as Jeff Gordon, just lost the air in the right front tire. And Sterling Marlin had no place to go. And look at Mark Martin. How he gets by is beyond me. But now Kyle's car, the accelerator I think is hung. He has no brakes. And bam, into the inside wall almost head on.
And from another angle on our camera from the Tower Terrace, the car just shoots straight to the wall.
You guys, I agree with you. That looked like something went down like a tire, and I wonder if that's coming from just all the stuff we're seeing, all the grass. If it's pulling up any gravel off this track, that they're having a tire problem with punctures.
And now from Sterling Marlin's perspective, looking out the back glass. And he was just an innocent victim of Kyle Petty's situation up there in turn number 4. And the safety work.
He is using all, and I think his line's getting better. He's taking a later entry. I think that's a better way to go. We got a little crash.
Robert Presley has crashed at the north end of the racetrack at the entrance to pit road. And the caution comes out. We're going to end this event under caution, it would appear. This will be the race to the flag relay determining the winner. Dale Jarrett is coming through corner number 3.
Here he comes.
Corner 4, the caution flag waves, but there's just one more lap to go, and Dale Jarrett is going to win it. Dale Jarrett has won the Brit.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching that. What happened?
Just lost the back end coming off the corner. Almost the same thing, and we've got a crash.
Somebody into the wall down in the first turn area.
That's Chad Little in the John Deere Pontiac.
And so the caution comes out here at Indianapolis for the first time. Benny, it looks like as he's had serious contact with the outside wall.
He sure has. We see water coming across the racetrack. That means that the radiator is broken. Meanwhile, the cars will race back to the line for their be scored by NASCAR.
And the work, meanwhile, is going on. Chad started 21st in this race in his first event here at Indianapolis. Well, there is where the traction was lost, and Chad slid into the outside wall. Apparently no other car involved in the incident, and we didn't have a good enough shot of it to determine whether or not he was hit or just simply lost control down in turn 1.
A lot of damage to the right front of that car.
Yeah, and in any case, the race is under caution for the first time. Chad Little has gotten out of the car, so he's okay, but the car is in very... Second caution is out on lap number 15. We've had a multi-car tangle over in turn number 2. Serious damage to Michael Waltrip's car.
Yes, we see the right side completely gone. There we see Derek Cope's Skittles Pontiac. There we see Cope standing by the... And look at the damage to the right front and the rear of that car.
There were other cars involved and that some damage, but those 2 cars were the one that got the most. Let's take a look at what happened. Now, Cope had just made a pit stop, was coming out of the pits, and heavy contact against the second turn wall.
There we see Bill Elliott, the McDonald's car, going round. Now, other cars are going to come into the crash, into the accident. There we see Cope already backing in the pits. Elliott goes around, and Michael Waltrip, heavy hits. That's who hit the 36 car in the front. Also, Ted Musgrave, the 16 car, spun.
Yeah, Ted Musgrave was involved, so Bill Elliott also spun hard into the wall there on the left rear of the car, and then really heavy contact between Michael Waltrip and Cope.
And Ted Musgrave goes down to the inside. Here's a slow-mo, and Derek Cope is by himself. Wonder, we have no idea what caused the crash. Evidently, I would guess a flat tire or something. There we see Michael Waltrip. Boom! Elliott is still going around. Ted Musgrave comes into the crash. There's also Bobby Hamilton going down. I don't know that Musgrave and Hamilton hit anything. They will have to pit for tires, but I don't think they have any sheet metal damage.
We get into 2 cars that were very seriously damaged. Derek Cope and Michael Waltrip, both drivers are okay. Cope is out of his car, and of course Michael did drive his car back to the pit area, but a lot of debris to clean up over there in turn number 2.
There's the damage that Michael Waltrip did with the right side of his car.
So we're Bobby Labonte, and these guys are running about 3 seconds behind the leader. And we have a crash. Will we have a caution? That is Rich Bickle, who is facing the wrong direction on the racetrack, and the caution comes out with 6. And he ends up in the middle of the racetrack, and some had to take evasive action to keep from hitting him.
And he was a little wobbly getting out of the car.
Yep.
And we see him there with the stretcher helping Rick. Flag for Ricky Rudd.
1 more lap to go around the 2.5-mile oval, and more contact back here as Kyle Petty and Jeremy Mayfield make contact with each other. Look at this race as they head for the corner.
There's the lead.
Bobby Labonte chasing Ricky Rudd off the second corner. They're onto the backstretch for the final time in this year's Brickyard 400. Rudd with about a 5 or 6 car length advantage on Bobby Labonte. They head for turn number 3 for the final time. Rudd is through there safely onto the short chute. Into turn number 4, and now onto the straightaway. Labonte makes a final run at him. He closes in. Will he make a move? He cannot do it. Ricky Rudd wins the 4th Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis.
Lap down.
There is Jarrett well ahead of Jeff Gordon, so indeed he will get one of his laps back. There's Buckshot Jones, who has some damage to the right front of that car.
Coming off turn 4. Let's see if we can check it out. Oh, yeah, we see contact between Brett Bodine and Buckshot Jones.
And Brett Bodine slides into that inside wall, but just taps it very lightly. Now, that's where that new energy-absorbing barrier is located here at Indianapolis. Bodine had contact with the outside wall before sliding across and then tapping that inside barrier.
How in the world did those guys slide through all those cars and not get hit by someone?
Looking good. Where's the pace car at, Mark? Oh, coming off 2.
Slides all the way across the racetrack, and everybody Buckshot misses him.
That was Jim Long, the crew chief on Buckshot's car. We heard talking to Buckshot, said they're going to change the right side, try to fix the fender.
Kenny Irwin's day is over. He has crashed between turns 1 and 2. He had just lost 5th position to Terry Labonte, and Dale Earnhardt was right behind him, got into the outside wall, sliding to a stop in the middle of turn number 2.
Here comes the 28 car, and Kenny Irwin just loses control. Earnhardt got so close to him, we talked about early in the race, that he took that air off the rear spoiler, and around goes the Texaco car.
There was no contact between Earnhardt and Irwin. He just lost the downforce, and the car got around on him. Scatters some photographers right here.
Watch those guys run. I don't blame him.
And from another angle, we see it once again. Boy, he had a great run going, had been in the top 5 most of the day. But his first try at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Brickyard 400.
And guess what?
6 laps to go. The interval officially is 43/100ths of a second, almost a half second separating first and second.
Jeff Gordon averaged 167 miles per hour that lap, even considering having to restart. Oh, we got a crash down at turn 1. Jimmy Spencer goes around.
Looks like he may keep going. Nope, the car's going to stop, and this will bring out another caution. The caution is out.
Between, is that Jeff Green?
Yes.
Jeff Green and Jimmy Spencer. We see Dale Jarrett going on the grass to get by. And there's Spencer up in the outside retaining wall. One more look. And look at Jarrett go right by that wreck.
By the way, Jarrett has moved up to 18th position now as the caution is out, and the safety crew is there very quickly to try to get this forward. 3 laps at the brick. Oh, and a crash up in the straightaway, and this may end things. Several cars involved in an incident before crossing the start-finish line.
But the problem is, Bob, there's a car sitting there, and they've got to. Now Nemechek is moving. I thought they were going to have to drive through a car sitting on the racetrack because they're racing back to the line. The first one back wins.
The caution flag is out, but remember, they race back to the caution in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. And so Jeff Gordon is going to have to make sure that he keeps Mark Martin and Bobby Labonte behind him. Here they come off of corner number 4. And Ricky Rudd's car is very badly damaged as the caution is out, and Jeff Gordon will cross the line first to complete lap 158. Literally all over the racetrack. Here's what happened as the green was coming out.
And we see that someone just ran right in the back of, we saw the back of Jeff Green's car jump up in the air.
He was hit by Joe Nemechek, but there could have been contact before that. In any case, it littered the straightaway with wrecked race cars. With it looks like Ricky Rudd coming out on the short end of everything.
Ricky Rudd and see what happened. You see what's going to cause all the damage to Rudd's car. Oh, I see it's Robert Press's car.
Is out at the Brickyard 400 for the first time this afternoon. Chad Little has crashed over in turn number 2. And we have the end of the crash. There's the contact with the wall in turn number 2 on the driver's side.
Very hard contact. Another shot from our turn 2 camera. And when you see a spring rolling across the racetrack, you know that car hit awfully hard. Yes, he and Jeffrey Bodine are going down in turn 2 at the same time. Jeffrey's going to make a little bit of a late entry in the corner, and Chad made that early entry. They made contact, and Chad, the worse for the wear. David Green, the Kodiak Chevrolet. Oh, and Kyle Petty once again in that wall hard. I'll tell you, these Indianapolis walls have not been too kind to Kyle Petty.
Trying to get the car slowed down and keep it from contacting the wall again. No steering. And Jeff. And the white flag is in the air. One more lap to go in the Brickyard 400. Dale Jarrett, the leader, by 3.3 seconds over Bobby Labonte.
Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin trying to figure out who's going to finish in 3rd position. Looks like it's going to be Jeff Gordon. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett goes by turn 2 sweeps to the applause of those folks.
And he has only about a half a lap to go, and he will record his 2nd Brickyard 400 victory. Jarrett into turn number 3 for the final time. The crowd there standing and waving through the short chute at the north end of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A very popular driver takes the Ford through corner number 4. He comes onto the main straightaway. And Dale Jarrett wins the Brickyard 400 for the 2nd time. He wins in 1990. Caution is out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We have had a crash down in turn number 1 involving Mark Martin. We also understand the car of Jeff Gordon is damaged. The safety crew is at the Valvoline Ford, and Mark Martin is climbing out uninjured. We'll take a look at what happened as the cars went down into turn on the 16th lap.
There's Martin on the inside of Michael Waltrip. Mike Skinner right behind. Just to go in the corner, Skinner gets in the back of Mark Martin, and boom, in the wall goes Mark. And here's Jeff Gordon making some contact with Rick Mast as he go down in turn 1. And Mast does not look like he hits the wall.
Now from Skinner's onboard camera, we will watch the bump. There they hit twice coming off the 4th corner, Benny.
That was Michael Waltrip and Mark making contact as you go down the front straightaway. Now, right here, boom.
And from another angle, we see the contact between Mike Waltrip and Mark Martin as they go down to the turn, and then the contact between Mike Skinner and Mark Martin that sends him hard into that outside wall.
Very, very hard.
I know we say it a lot, but those fuel cells in those cars are amazing.
Mark Martin did walk away from the car to the ambulance.
Oh, and the car is against the wall. John Andretti.
He's going down to the bottom.
And the caution is out. John Andretti down to the warm-up lane. But the Cheerios Pontiac is badly damaged.
And we see John trying to turn the steering wheel.
Watch the right side of your screen on the replay.
The right front tire goes flat for some reason. Wow, and backing him off for some reason. Going in turn 3. The right front tire is either cut down or something. He just, man, he pounds that wall.
And Jeff Burton had to take evasive action to miss John. There's the contact with the wall. Jarrett, Pruitt, and Jeff Burton go low, and the others go high. Everybody misses John Andretti, but the driver who competed in 7 Indianapolis 500s and has started all 7 Brickyard 400s. Take a look at what happened. Oh, he's running there with Mike Bliss, and they made contact coming off the 2nd corner. That's why Kyle got off the pace, but Labonte gets the white flag. One more tour of the 2.5-mile oval at Indianapolis.
Oh, man, how excited that Bobby must be inside that Interstate Batteries Pontiac.
And how nervous Jimmy Maycar and those guys must be down there on pit road. They're just saying, please, please, please come back around.
Remember last week
at Pocono 2 weeks ago. Jeremy Mayfield, about this spot, was leading the race. Did not get back to the line in front. Got a flat tire in turn 3. Labonte does not suffer that same fate. He's just through 3 into turn 4.
He is in his 244th career start in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. But he is about to register perhaps his biggest victory of all. Bobby Labonte from Corpus Christi, Texas wins the 7th Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis.
There we see just that little bit of contact right there. 0-2 car has to chase it up the hill to try to save it. Right rear goes in, and then he hits the wall with the right front. And that's the one that really did the damage, that blow to the right front.
And a look back from Tony for over a year. Cautions out. Jerry Nadeau in the wall.
Now this will help the 1 car, the 8 car, and Tony Stewart, I guess, will have to make a pit stop and check those fenders that you're talking about.
Nadeau had just been penalized a lap by NASCAR at the end of that last caution for pitting out of his box. You got to have the car within the painted pit box.
Well, it's hard to imagine not being contact going in the turn like that, but there's so much smoke, I have no idea.
There were a couple other cars in that cloud somewhere.
And 21 cars already on the apron when that's happening. Right here, see Elliott.
Elliott Sadler.
Hard to see.
And Tony Furr and the crew on the
Final lap of the Brickyard 400 is underway. Jeff Gordon out in front of Sterling Marlin by 1 second. He celebrated his 30th birthday here yesterday with family and friends around him. Celebrated with a rather subpar qualifying run that put him back 27th on the starting grid. The car not very good in the opening part of the race. The crew kept working, got the strategy right, got the chassis right, and now Jeff Gordon is 1 corner away from a Brickyard 400 win. The last 3 straight years, the winner of this race has gone on to be the NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion. Jeff Gordon, the point leader, comes off the corner and becomes a 3-time winner of the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis.
To the lead.
That's pretty strong.
How many times do you see side? Oh, there's trouble. Brett Bodine and Mike Wallace off turn 2. Caution. First caution of the race. They were running 39th and 40th respectively.
Boy, Brett's got another.
Take a look and we can see exactly what happened. Yeah, that's inconclusive. The crash had already started. Now, what caused it to start? See Ted Musgrave going by, Bobby Hamilton, the 55 car, and Kenny Wallace. Another shot.
Ooh, Mike Wallace just went straight right.
Yeah, he was coming off a 2 there, and it looked like something either broke or he had a tire go down. Whenever a car shoots up to the wall like that, that's very unusual. Boy, he went right in.
Brett Bodine makes the left turn into the garage. There you see the track officials.
There's action on the track.
Got a crash. It's Kurt Busch with a hard crash.
That's too bad. He was flying.
He was running very, very well. Looks like he might have tested that safer barrier one more time.
He was in 17th place at the time of the accident, after starting the race back in 38th. Survey says easy racer with there. We're here and it's a red car.
Jimmy Spencer?
Yeah. That would be what, the 3rd or 4th time this year that they've tangled?
Remember Bristol cars? Get to turn 3.
He just booted him out of the way.
Wow, that's not good.
No. I mean, here you got a guy coming, okay, he passed him clean, and you can see the car was was slowing up in front of you. I don't think Kurt's going to let that one go over too easy. Yeah, but I think he pulled out there.
Oh, trouble. Casey Atwood. Caution. Another driver's side impact into that safer barrier.
Normally, at this track, the way these corners are laid out, if you get turned sideways, getting it, he got in there underneath the 8-car. Earnhardt looks like maybe lost a little of the air on the spoiler, and that happens here when you're running real close to another car. You're down on the inside, you lose the air on your car, which makes you loose.
And what happened when he got loose, he backed off the gas, and Rudd ran in the back of it.
Right.
As soon as he chases it up the hill, I don't know, maybe that angle doesn't show Rudd. The first angle we saw, I thought Rudd got in the back of him. But from that angle, I'm not sure. He just looks like he just got the air off the spoiler, as Wally said.
Well, let's see. Is there contact or not?
Yeah,
I think so.
I saw the rear of the car come off the ground there, BP, so you're right. Either way, he was in trouble, whether Ricky hit him or not.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was already going that direction, whether or not Ricky got down for a while.
Right front flat, right front flat.
Got down in turn 1 and he turned the steering wheel, but with that flat tire, it wouldn't turn.
And a bad break for Ricky Craven when the caution came out. Elliott rides through the canyon of grandstands and takes the white flag. Final lap of the Brickyard 400.
And the fans are cheering Bill Elliott on as he comes to turn 2 down the backstretch.
One of the sport's most popular drivers ever. Elliott looking for career victory number 43 and his first here on these hallowed grounds. He's dominated the race today. He will have led 93 of 160 laps. Now he's one corner away from an Indianapolis Winners' Trophy. Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, and now Bill Elliott joins the list of winners of the Brickyard 400 in Indy. A dominating victory for Dodge in the Brickyard. Elliott wins.
These cars, we've had cars.
We get the guy right there along the wall there that they're working on.
So the caution is out so they can close the pit road, keep any more cars from coming down, and move some rescue workers onto pit road to further attend to the details on the situation as soon as it becomes available to us and pass it along to you.
Yeah, that's just too much rear brake in the car right there. Man, that's a scary situation.
Oh, my goodness.
Look at the jack.
Look at the jack, and they're going toward the, and the official just calmly, but look at the damage to the right front.
That's still bottled up in traffic.
Here comes Robbie Gordon. He's 3 wide down the back
Contact.
Still
contact.
Blocking. Here comes Matt Kenseth. You can't do it 4 wide at Indy.
Robbie Gordon drives that car in on the outside.
Oh, McMurray got sideways. Took the air off McMurray's car. He got sideways.
Oh, Terry Labonte is around. 3-4 cars in it. Ricky Rudd, Mike Skinner, Jimmie Johnson, and Sterling Marlin. Caution flag is out.
Is that Skinner? Skinner's in there too.
And all of those cars that were in front of the leader just got 2.5 miles of free pass.
Sterling Marlin involved.
Like I said, it's a 20-lap feature at Flemington.
Man.
Traffic in turn 3.
See the 77 car Blaney very, very high, so obviously something had happened beforehand, and oh man, they just all starts there.
I think Terry got hit in the back to start that. Oh, look at that. Man. All 4 wheels off the ground.
Up in the air.
And I think this all started from the result of McMurray getting sideways when Robbie Gordon drove on the outside of him going into turn 3, and a bunch of cars checked up.
I'm not so sure that Dave Blaney didn't have a tire go down or something, because he kind of got out of the gas and got up out in that outside lane.
There he is, up the yellow car on the outside that Alan is talking about.
And Terry definitely got hit
a couple times.
Once to start it and once there. As Terry Labonte in the 5. Ricky Rudd, 21. Good day gone bad in a hurry. Might have been Kurt Busch that got Terry Labonte. He was the one right behind him. 0-1 car. Skinner hit by Rudd in the 21. You see Nemechek got Sterling Marlin. Nemechek in the red and black car all caved in at the bottom. Far right side of your screen.
And now all of a sudden these cars are coming at you.
This is Kurt Busch's view.
Clear, clear. Keep digging. Got 77 up top there. Come on.
Yep.
Mike Skinner.
Still there. Slow car ahead on the outside. Stay low, low.
Not a whole lot Mike could do there.
Oh.
Well, he was almost through it.
He was. And low or high, either one, there was no place to go as far as Skinner was concerned.
The blade of grass stuck across the lens of the camera. Jimmie Johnson got a piece of this too. On board with him.
Inside. In front of you, man.
He might have spun out of harm's way.
Lap away from Indianapolis victory. His team owner Richard Childress, we talked about being in hiding a little while ago. Childress won this race in 1995 with Dale Earnhardt. Kevin Harvick with the oh-so-difficult job of replacing Dale Earnhardt behind the wheel of this machine after Earnhardt was tragically killed at Daytona in February 2001. Harvick stepped in and in just his third race with the team took a memorable victory at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He's half a lap from establishing racing legend for himself. The final corner. And 300,000 fans are on their feet at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The checkered flag is in sight, and the California kid, Kevin Harvick, wins the 10th Brickyard 400. By the way, Casey Kane back on the lead lap. Oh, contact.
Almost contact. Who's that, Rusty? Oh, Rusty getting
Trevor Wallace is into the wall, and a big mess. Scott Riggs has crashed. More contact.
Right in front. Oh, man.
Terry Labonte in the 5, smoking and steaming.
Has no place to go with the 10 car.
Ward Burton.
Outside pole sitter Ward Burton. Heavy damage to that car.
Those cars look exactly what it looks like. Maybe, is that Casey Mears?
Yep. And then somebody, Rusty bounces off of Casey, and somebody behind him. Maybe Jeff Burton in that black car, the 99.
That's exactly what
looks like it might have.
Rusty went up and drove into the door of Casey Mears, and I think it cost him.
Watch that 10 car. Right in front of Terry Labonte and Ward Burton. And Ricky Rudd somehow squeezes through the hole. I don't know how much damage he has. He has to have some. Watch this 10 car fly. Oh man.
He got drilled by.
That was where Scott Wimmer got the damage.
Yeah.
And then I believe it's Kyle Petty's the last one to get a piece of this. Watch for a red, white, and blue car just to get a piece of the back end of this. I think he caught Bobby Labonte.
I think Rusty was trying to squeeze up in between Biffle and Casey Mears.
Wow, Kurt Busch just missed another one.
Yeah.
And then just to the right of the screen, Kyle Petty just gets a piece of Bobby Labonte. I stand by my original statement. Big mess.
Yes.
I think Rusty's just trying to get in between the two cars of Casey Mears.
And I think Biffle was coming back up the racetrack. He'd gone low, and I think he was coming back up the racetrack to try to get his entry into the corner, and Rusty trying to go through those two. And I think Rusty had to check up because of Biffle coming up the hill.
Boy, still the end result that cost him. Cost a lot of guys.
This will be a view. Rusty Wallace.
See, when Biffle starts coming up, he backs off to avoid hitting the 16 if someone runs in the back of him.
Michael Waltrip's view.
Spin on the front stretch, on the bottom, on the bottom. Cars are on the bottom. Cars are on the bottom. Oh, wow, look at
that. Joey,
hot race to take 2 tires. We're taking 4. We'll be okay. And we'll see what happens.
And Bill, he's probably going through exactly what Kenseth's went through. Oh, we got another.
Brendan Gaughan.
Cut a tire when they made contact.
Into the wall in turn 2. Don't come back into traffic. Wow.
I wonder if that cut that left rear when they bounced off each other.
Looks like it did, and it instantly cut that left rear tire.
Brendan Gaughan, the rookie driver out of Las Vegas.
See what happens here. You see him get underneath.
And right there, they make contact.
That's what it was. It just cut that tire.
And crunch.
I wonder if it did any damage to the right front fender on that 9 car.
Oh boy, who was that? Took to the grass.
That was a good move. That was
probably Tony Raines, maybe in the 23.
I don't know. We'll have to see on this look, because if whoever it was, that was one heck of a move to keep from hitting Brendan.
Yep, Tony Raines.
Nice job, Tony. Rusty Wallace has seen his share of adventure today.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah,
Come to the caution. Come to the caution. Clear all around.
So pit road is closed because Brendan Gaughan's car sits on the pit exit road.
It's traffic. I mean, he'll be out of time. Matt Kenseth. Oh, another tire goes down.
Oh, caution is out as Wimmer hits the wall.
It appeared to be another left front tire.
Yellow flag, 12 laps to go. And an amazing 11th caution flag in this race. And pace car's been working overtime today. I think he's a 2-time Brickyard 400 winner.
And right now, he's a little bit faster than Jeff Gordon.
Trouble turn 2. Caution flags out. Ryan Newman punched the wall. And who's in the black car? Is that
guy 8th in points?
Okay, the field is frozen.
There's Newman. Wow, what a hard crash he's had.
The left side has hit the wall awfully hard. Let's try this one.
Well, there's 2 of them involved and they're both spinning.
Yeah.
Chances are there was some contact between them.
Question, was the 12 passing the 25 on the outside, or was the 25 trying to go by the 12 on the inside?
Either way, neither driver's Brickyard 400 will finish as they hoped. Brian Vickers driving his car around to pit road to get repaired. You saw Ryan Newman out of his car over in turn 2.
Pulls out.
Dominant car all day. Now 1 lap away from a Brickyard 400 win. Jeff Gordon takes the white flag.
Now Elliott is going to do everything he can to make a move on the 88.
Who's off the pace? That's Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd with a right front problem. So far, green flag remains out. And they'll race the final half lap back to the checkered flag.
Look at all the blocking going on back there. Who's that blowing up?
Somebody's blowing up in the back. I believe it was.
It is Mark Martin.
Not again.
Elliott Sadler trying his teammate for second. That's all it's going to be, is for second spot. Caution flag is out. The race is over. Jeff Gordon wins the Brickyard 400 for a 4th time. A dominating performance today by Gordon.
Doing it, guys. You guys are awesome. Great job, driver.
Could be a left front came apart there.
And the tire came apart and has torn up the left front fender.
And you were concerned about tire wear here today.
There
DP.
goes the left front for good.
The first 50 laps of the race, I was concerned about tire wear. It's going to, the last 50 laps, it will not be a problem.
Straight to pit road, straight to pit road.
That's because the tires will rubber up the track. The rubber will go into the grooves on the racetrack, and that should help the tire wear.
Oh, there he goes, just blows apart.
Man, heading into the turn. Nice job hanging on to that.
Yeah, really.
And debris every place.
A couple of cars that have been falling back. The 7 of Robbie Gordon and the 36 of Boris Said. Alan, how about it?
Well, if you've got a car that you think is
trouble. Casey Mears.
Left front tire's flat, isn't it?
The caution is out.
No, guess it isn't.
Contact with Kurt Busch is what we're hearing.
Yeah.
That's a save there. Spinning here, not hit anything at Indianapolis.
I got on the brakes and it just started left. Touched the 97.
Oh, just made a little contact with the 97 car. As he said, enough to get him out of shape.
Man, look at that. He didn't hit anything. That is a great save.
That is unbelievable what that is. Well, we got a new hero.
Yeah, I was
Mears.
gonna say. That's what Rusty tried to do yesterday in qualifying, but
failed. Jeff Green will be the lucky dog. Kyle Busch was good on that last restart. Nice job by him. Dave?
Bill, remember during the last pit.
Field coming around to get the green flag here in Indianapolis. Casey Mears, the race leader, did not pit.
And I don't expect him to be there.
Trouble Junior hard in the inside wall. Back across the racetrack.
Got Truex.
Hits his teammate, Truex.
And Truex was there because of a speeding violation, and that's what happens when you get, sometimes when you make a mistake in the pits, cost you out on the racetrack.
And this will be huge for Junior's championship chase chances.
This is pretty much it for it. He had to really come out of this race with a good day to keep their chances alive, and this pretty much does them in.
And you guys
here, we'll see if we can see what happens. It looks like, exactly, cars go, then they slow down, and the cars in the back didn't see the guys up ahead slowing down and start running into each other.
Like 21 was able to get by without any.
Watch how this closes up in front of Dale Jr. He thinks everybody's accelerating. You can't see, like I said, oh, he got turned, he got run into.
Yep, he sure did.
But the thing is, like I said earlier, you can't see one or two cars ahead.
I think maybe that was Mike Skinner behind them when he checked up. But it got in the back of it.
It's all the same thing. It's still accordion. It was a big accordion. He slowed down. We're not sure who got in the back of him, but obviously somebody did get in the back of him.
Rudd just slipping by on the inside. Robbie Gordon got a piece of it. Boris Said might have gotten a little bit of it.
Let's take one more look again.
That would be
Mike Skinner, 23.
It is Skinner.
There is. There's Robbie with nowhere to go.
Oh, Robbie.
Truex, Wimmer. Boris got through cleanly in the 36. There's Rudd sneaking by. And this is what the people sitting in turn 4 saw.
And Truex is saying, no,
where did
this
he
can't
come
be
from?
happening.
And I was racing at Indy. Oh, I'm not racing at Indy anymore.
Marty! And Bill, you just got to give some credit to these Home Depot guys. They have made this car better for Tony Stewart. Remember, early in the race, it was extremely tight. They've worked on it. Several changes on several stops, and there's trouble on the racetrack with Jimmie Johnson.
The championship leader is around. Gordon gets by.
And he doesn't hit anything. I don't think.
I think he did either, BP.
He did left front. The valence is pushed under just a little bit in front of the left front tire, but that might have been when he was going around and around. The spring is so soft, it gets it went down and drug the racetrack.
He spun here a year ago and didn't hit anybody. Here you go, on board with Johnson.
on the gas and got loose.
Yeah, hey, look at this. Ricky Rudd, hard contact.
There's the 48 spinning.
I'm guessing Ricky let up and somebody else didn't. That's the safer barrier right there on the right-hand side of your screen, the softer wall.
I think he missed it.
Caution is out.
Bobby Labonte has brought out the caution here at the Brickyard.
This is the right front tire problem on the 18 car. He's lost the air pressure in the tire. Which
former winner of the Brickyard 400. See what we can see. It's already over. Just like the day.
Looks like it happened going in turn 3.
That's his crew on pit road.
Kane at 9, Kensington 17, and get to the 9.
Tony Stewart, no trouble.
Scott Riggs, the 10 car, round he goes.
A lot of guys behind him.
Oh, man, that was close.
Caution is out. Riggs rolls away. There are 15 scoring loops. See if we can see what happened here.
I guess Kurt Busch is, I don't know. Kurt Busch, the 97 car, was around the 10. I don't know if he was the one that Scott was talking about was underneath him or not.
Let's take a look from Harvick's car, see what he saw. Looks like the 97 ran up into him.
You think?
Looked like the 97
That's the way I saw it.
Yeah.
Looked like the 97 got loose, and when he corrected, just ran up right in the side of the 10 car.
And these guys back here behind him.
They did a good
Nice
job.
work. Well, that's disappointing for Riggs. He's got rallies on that car for a handful of races here. Second half of the season. Now let's go back.
Vickers hanging in third spot there.
16 to go.
Vickers in third is about 3 seconds behind these. Oh, trouble.
Championship leader. Jimmie Johnson has tagged the wall. That'll bring out the caution.
More than tag the wall, perhaps.
Yes, sir. Blew up here, finished 36th a year ago.
He's knocked the fuel pump off the car and has some fire under it. I hope they're looking.
Pretty sure what happened.
Tire?
Yeah.
Tire goes flat. And there we see the.
This will give us a good indication. When a car stops turning like that and shoots up the racetrack, that's a tire going down.
AJ Foyt won before him. Now Tony Stewart is 2.5 miles away from history.
Looking in his mirror about 2 seconds right now.
Turn 2 at the Brickyard. Down the backstretch.
This is going to be really, really big for him.
Half a lap to go. The fans cheering. Turn 4, the last trip down the front stretch. Tony Stewart, a native Hoosier, his dream comes true. Tony Stewart wins the All-State 400 at the Brickyard. Let the party begin.
Elliott Sadler.
Sadler hard into the wall, first caution of the day here at Indianapolis.
And his terrible weekend has somehow managed to get worse.
The car was turning, the car just lost the air.
Already in progress at that point. Watch the right side of the screen here.
Yeah, he was just underneath somebody. This is one of those places too. You can't lean on somebody on the outside and go through the corner. Your car will get real loose if you do that. He just lost the air on the back of that car.
Yeah, but I think that was Joe Nemechek, yes it was, in the 0-1 that was on the outside of Elliott.
On board with Tony Stewart.
Position. Oh, crash.
Caution is out.
Boris said?
Yes.
Boris said.
See the spring?
Yeah.
Right behind his name.
There's two springs. If that camera drops down a little bit, there's another one laying down there. There's the other one. It's got turned.
Yeah, Reed Sorensen in 41. Well, Reed Sorensen about wrecked twice there, didn't he?
Sure did. Jeff Gordon is the lucky dog.
Caution on the racetrack.
Caution is out, Matt. You're correct.
Good news for, some damage in that
Mayfield.
We'll wait to get it officially, but Jeff Gordon should be the lucky dog here.
They get one of his 2 laps back.
And I was watching the screen right before that yellow came out, and Jeff Gordon was about in the top 3 as far as lap time.
Side of your screen. Shoots up the track.
I tell you what, if you get out of the groove here with all this rubber laying around, it is treacherous. It looks like that what might have happened to Jeremy. Just got up a little bit high, couldn't get it to turn.
At the Brickyard. One of his idols, Rick Mears, won here 4 times. His teammate Jeff Gordon, 4-time winner here. Started the season by winning the Daytona 500 without his crew chief. Now trying to take his car and his team to victory lane at Indianapolis. And hold on to the championship standings, which he won't even think about for probably a day and a half.
What an unbelievable
Caution is out. Check that. Caution is not out yet. There's a crash on the backstretch.
Looks like Robbie Gordon and Greg Biffle got together.
Still the white flag is out. Johnson off of turn 4. Checkered flag is in the air. Jimmie Johnson from California wins at Indianapolis, and the caution is out. Fine.
Never seen Robbie and Biffle side by side, and Robbie gets in the corner, the car just won't turn, goes up in the 16 car, and around they go. This is Tony Stewart.
Wow. Oh man, that is a hit.
Oh my gosh.
On board with Tony Raines.
Wow. Oh,
he ran over something.
It looked like the engine.
Wasn't that debris from the...
Yeah, but I mean, it was a big piece of debris.
Chevrolet congratulates Jimmie Johnson.
Well, right now, Sorensen's led every single lap, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. right behind him. They're running almost identical lap speeds. But I tell you what, Kevin Harvick, hard into the wall. 66 car.
That is Jeff Green. He had been on and off pit road just a few minutes ago because he had brushed the wall earlier.
Right rear tire.
And you heard him say a right rear tire. He had actually come on the pit road.
Though. The right rear looks like it might be up.
The right rear, but you got to believe that maybe a piece of metal cut the tire down, Andy, from brushing that wall.
Yeah, that's the thing that happens when you make contact with that wall. A lot of times you'll get some metal hanging there that'll grab that tire and blow it out. nothing you can do when that happens either. You can see he's just along for the ride right here.
You know, his problem started earlier. Hit pit road with brushing the wall. Got a penalty. Went back out in the racetrack and had this problem right now. So I tell you what, this is one of the greatest racetracks in the country. Everybody puts their heart and soul in here. I tell you right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is giving Stewart all he can take. Inside for the pass right now. It looks like he's got the position getting down into turn 1.
Okay, you see that?
Cars here. Cars spinning. That's the 12 car of Ryan Newman. Spins around, heavy contact.
We're rolling. Head down pit road.
And caution comes out for the second time today here on lap number 20.
A lot of
caution flag a moment ago. The 12 car of Ryan Newman spins around. There is contact in this cloud of smoke here in the corner.
You see his driver's side first too, and that's kind of like we saw J.J. Yaley in practice, and the 18 car hit very similar to this. And boy, I tell you, that really hurts when you hit the wall like that.
Nice job by Carl Edwards to make the miss here.
He's up high. He's up high. He's still up high. He's still up high. He's coming down. He's coming out. Right on the apron now. Right on the apron. Come on by there, buddy. Nice job. You know, roll it up.
Now, Ryan Newman was very close to being in the top 12 in the chase. He was in 13th spot, but just 30 points behind.
That car for Hendrick Motorsports, he started 18th. He's moved up to 10th place, and there's trouble on the track.
Tony Raines against the wall, gets tagged in the door in the right front of that car. Also spinning is Robbie Gordon in the car number 7. What happened up in the turn a moment ago? The 96 car. Now watch Kasey Kahne and the 96 side by side.
Yeah, just two guys, just not quite enough room between them.
Yeah.
Don't really know who to put the blame on, but boy, this is bad for Kasey Kahne. These guys are trying to just get something going here and just not been able to do it this year.
I tell you what, in our earlier rear play, it looks like the 9 just drilled him in the door, but coming back to the replay, you can see what happened. The aero loose kicked in, and the both cars slid up in each other. That's
it's hard
problem.
to race down in the corner side by side at this track. It's just real narrow getting down in there, the groove is.
All right, from the Allstate onboard camera, Kasey Kahne comes back across and just right in the right front fender.
Just finishes them both off right there. They were both already torn up, but that just finished them off.
Let's take one more look angle of this right here as they get in a corner. 96 is already wrecked. He's coming across the track, and boom, Kahne's got nowhere to go. But before that, Kasey went inside and got aero loose and slid up in the side of the 96. It looks like Kasey started this wreck.
Well, this will count now as a competition yellow.
Oh, cars, things happen. And just help me clarify, you were crashing or it was just way loose?
I was tight. The car wouldn't turn the whole time. That's why I was going backwards. And then it went way loose into that corner. And I think it's because he sucked up on my right rear, but that's just what I was told by my team or whatever. So I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. I was looking forward. Next thing I knew, I was in the wall.
All right, big trouble on the racetrack, guys. Big crash here. Jimmie Johnson and
now, Jimmie Johnson's car, they're going to work on that, and I think they can get it back and stay working throughout the rest of the race.
The 10 car involved, that's Scott Riggs as he gets turned from behind. The 21 car, that's Bill Elliott. They were all stacked up almost in a single file.
Almost like a domino effect here. All these guys are running so close together. Almost 3 wide coming off the corner. Just not enough room. All of them so close, that's why they all get in the red.
I want to take another look at this.
Yaley tears up another car.
Trying to back it way down middle of 1 and 2. Big wreck. Big wreck. Back it down, wave them off. They're still checked up around here. Pick your way through there. Take your time. Pick your way through there. A lot of debris. Clear high right there. Clear high all the way to the racetrack. Come on through there.
Boy, Elliott Sadler's spotter being able to weave him and talk him through all that debris on the racetrack.
I'm going to take one more look at this replay here shortly, getting into turn 3, and let's see what happens to this again. See 48 car trying to make it to pit road right now. Got the left front. He's trying not to tear the fender off, Andy.
A chain reaction crash involving 5 cars. We'll update who the cars are, how much damage, and what.
He went up the racetrack. Dale did. He shot underneath him. That's a classic case of aero loose, and you can manage that. Crash.
Another crash on the racetrack. 4 cars involved. Scott Riggs tries to avoid it. 25 of Casey Mears involved. The National Guard Chevrolet, another one of the Rick Hendry cars.
Another one of Ray Evernham's cars involved here, too. Looks almost the same as the last wreck we saw. These two cars just getting together. Just not enough room for these other guys.
Guys, we talked earlier in our broadcast about you need to get single file down into turn 1 and into turn 3, and they're not completing these passes as they get in a corner. And you can see the 25 car of Casey Mears gets arrow loose and gets up into the side of Johnny Sauter.
Just so hard to pass getting in the corner at this racetrack. You really have to start that pass off the corner and try to clear him on the straightaway.
Now from the onboard camera for Elliott Sadler, the Allstate onboard. Let's listen.
Clear, clear, all clear by 2. Pick it up here. Come on the low side. Come on the low side. All right, get going when you can, man. Get going when you can. Get going when you can. 45 ran over us right there.
Guys, from a driver's perspective, getting down into turn 3, when you see him wrecking in front of you, you're a chance to change directions. Take a look at this. The wrecking in front of you, he just tries to slow up. The 19 car does, and he just can't. Gets high in the racetrack. Elliott Sadler does, and that wreck happens. But it's all about arrow loose, getting in the more.
Spoken like a true. Yeah, we don't see any smoke right now. It's the way we do it now. And now we see some smoke, so he may have to get this looked at.
Side by side, and we see some parts and pieces coming off there, and obviously.
We just cut a tire and hit the wall pretty hard.
And you just said that as long as he doesn't blow this tire out, he may have a shot. But no, he just cut right into it and just slammed across the wall. And the points.
Okay, Jimmy?
Yeah, this is a hard lick for Jimmy. He had a hard lick 2 weeks ago at Chicago. He jumps right out. That's a good sign.
Jimmie Johnson, 7th in the point standings. He is the reigning NASCAR Nextel Cup champion. He gets out of the car, but the car is ablaze here, and here come the safety crew.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a really smart decision on Jimmie Johnson. He knew the car was on fire.
Now watch the middle of the screen coming down the back straightaway, the 48 of Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, we didn't see any smoke till we got to the end of the straightaway. And it just instantly cuts this tire. You see it blow out, and all the pieces of rubber start flying everywhere. No control of this. So he just has to lock it down and ride it to the fence.
Folks, let me tell you the bad part about this. That tire blew out at the highest part of speed at the racetrack, close to 207 miles per hour. He blows that left front off, head on in the wall. And
you
it's
see
just
winning that down while he was still wrecking right there. It's up against the wall.
Oh, that's a hard hit. Again, thank gosh for the soft wall, Jerry. We've had 3 bad wrecks. Ryan Newman, J.J. Yeley in practice, and now Jimmie Johnson this hard. And he said, you saw the window net come down. Good indication he's okay.
The safer barriers debuted here in 2002. They updated them in 2005. Onboard camera from Jeff Burton looking up. Oh my heavens! He says, when you're a driver, when you're a driver, you see that happen in front of you, and you got to just curl up in the seat.
Jerry, you really feel bad for somebody.
Here's Clint Boyer leaving the 2 car coming in, and he got from the front and from the back, got a sandwich from the 33.
Scott Wimmer got the worst of this. You can see his right front tires aimed the wrong way. He got into that concrete wall trying to avoid this, and looks like he got the worst.
All right, Tony Stewart comes by. He had not won a race in 20 starts dating back to last fall, and then 2 weeks ago, he took this car to Chicagoland Speedway and spanked them. Led over 100 laps and said, guys, that has now become my favorite race car. I want to take this car to my home track. So they brought it to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a track, as you heard, that he came to when he was 5 years old, riding in a luggage rack on top of a bus, covered up in coats, so he could watch these guys race. It's a track that he has dreamed of winning time and time again. He won here in 2005. And once again, with the help of that guy right there, Zippy, Greg Zipadelli, Tony Stewart will come down here in 2007 and take the win in the Allstate 400. Tony Stewart wins it. Showed you Carl Edwards avoiding disaster a moment ago. Whoa, trouble. 55. Michael Waltrip smacks the wall hard. Debris coming off the car. A couple of cars going around him. That's Terry Labonte just able to get by.
Yeah, Paul Menard got a piece of that also.
And just that quickly, lap number 4, we are under yellow.
You see the cars in turn 2.
It looked like Michael just lost the car.
Loose on the inside of Sam Hornish there.
Looks like he's going to be okay there. Maybe he's spinning down to the inside, but the 15 had nowhere to go.
Like I say, I think Paul Menard got some damage out of that because he hit Michael pretty hard. Sam Hornick's very lucky there. He just, as Michael got sideways, he almost slid right up into Sam.
And that's one of the things you face here as you're racing with other cars, is as you enter these corners, your car tends to really get loose. And that seems like what happened to Michael. He lost some air there, and the car just got away from him. Again, looked like he was just going to spin to the inside, but Paul Menard had nowhere to go but to hit him.
Yeah, the leaders will probably be waiting on that lap 10 caution. It's only to run 5 laps.
Caution number 1 here, lap number 4. Paul Menard's Chevrolet on pit road to get that right front fender peeled away.
They would be on the track on lap 14.
Oh, trouble. Kevin Harvick has hit it hard.
Yeah, that looks like it could have been a problem with the tire.
And also the 2-car of Kurt Busch involved. 2 contenders. Hard impacts into the concrete.
Yeah, that's some hard wrecks right there, both of those guys.
Yeah, this obviously taking both of their chances away, but it'll be interesting to see.
Go in the garage, Eric.
If this was a mistake or just racing, or did we have a tire issue there, because there was a big chance. Jamie?
It's a garage.
Tough day for Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, Jamie, he did hit that wall very hard. He was coming off the corner. Actually, it looks like Kurt Busch lost the car and then hit the right front of Kevin's car, maybe blowing that tire out, but they both hit the wall pretty hard.
Yeah, they did. So this wasn't a tire issue right there, other than maybe the right rear just being worn on Kurt Busch's car, and that creating a problem.
Right along with Kevin Harvick's onboard camera, so you watch the 2-car get out of shape.
Outside, 90, we got tire there.
That car, Kurt Busch, did turn sideways real quick on him, like it's an unexpected thing.
Yeah, and in talking to these drivers about how long did it take you to figure out you had a problem, they said it just happens all of a sudden. You're going along fine, and then the next thing you know, you're losing grip with either the rear end or the front end, whichever tire is going. And that looks like that could have been the case there. And unfortunately for Kevin Harvick, just in the wrong place. All the way up to second, but now he's got a tire issue. About 10 laps looks like it's the most that they can go here.
I can make it around,
I think. Matt Kenseth's around. He knew he had slowed down and blew a right rear tire. You can see it blew the quarter off.
Caution's out.
Kenseth damage on the right side of his Ford.
We'd seen off the car, Chip. The whole right side's gone.
We'd seen him slow down and lose about 5 or 6 spots just a lap ago. Jamie?
Well, you guys were talking about what a great
17 car. Casey Kane going by. Whoa. And there it was. Oh, look at the pieces coming apart. Part of the window coming out.
You're going close to 200 miles an hour at the end of these straightaways, and when that tire does go flat and the pieces start flying, I mean, it's a lot of force. You can see it just takes the entire right side quarter panel off of it.
Now, these guys are normally under just a tremendous amount of stress racing here. The speeds that you get. Right now, these guys are just holding on and hoping that something like this doesn't happen to them, and in particular, doesn't happen to the right front.
All the other guys running through debris on the racetrack. And now
Jimmie Johnson's got 4 more corners to hit right here.
4 left turns away from the lion's share of a $9.6 million purse.
Well, he was about perfect with that corner right there.
So was Carl Edwards.
Johnson looked like he got through that corner and off of that corner really well, not to let Carl get a good run on him down the backstretch.
That was real critical because this long straightaway right here could decide it.
4 hours ago, over 250,000 fans asked themselves, who will it be? Who will win the Allstate 400 in 2008? They all had different answers.
Another perfect corner. Jimmie Johnson did a great job there. His crew, congratulations. Just a fantastic job.
Out of turn 4 and 2-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion, Jimmie Johnson becomes a 2-time winner at the Brickyard. Edwards, Hamlin, Sadler.
Jeff Gordon worked his way back into the top 5. A.J. Allmendinger with a 10th place finish. Great run for him. Vickers do something there that we're going to see a lot of today. The 2 cars that were side by side in front of him. He was able to get by with a crash.
Oh, trouble. Robbie Gordon has come off the racetrack and spun. And that will bring the caution out here on lap number 1 today.
Really hoped as a driver that wasn't going to happen because you were just starting to calm down a little bit, and now, especially with the double file restart, you have to go at it again.
Yeah, this is going to be tough, and this is not what they want to see. Right there, looked like he got kind of pinched down there a little bit.
We're also getting reports that the 19 car of Elliott Sadler may have had some smoke coming out of it. Could that have been from Sadler's car? Was Robbie Gordon was talking about maybe getting into someone's oil?
Okay, you did just get loose right there.
Yeah, it's really easy, and it feels like that you've hit all that, but there's just not a lot of grip to be had there right now at this particular moment.
Whoa, man, that was a close call.
Man, Bobby Labonte just snuck by.
Juan Pablo Montoya, the leader. Mark Martin in second spot. Tony Stewart is third. Whoa, in the 18 car, we just heard a moment ago in break that he had said he may have an issue developing.
Guys, it looks like we blew a right front.
That tire could have been going down because I looked at the lap times and they had dropped off the leader by over a second the last couple laps.
Part of this race early on, but now he's headed to pit road.
Got no brakes.
He says he's got no brakes, so he just gets loose off the corner. Tires were up until this impact. You see that hard impact on that right front, cutting the tire down.
Yeah, that was just way out of the groove there, and get up into marbles now that these tires, the little bit of rubber that's coming off of it.
Jimmie knows he needs to get all he can get here on this front straightaway. Look at him moving from inside to outside, right front.
Jimmie's doing everything he can to keep him back there, not letting him get too close to the bumper. He doesn't want to get the opportunity to get him loose. Here's Mark Spot coming up. Got one more run at him.
This time down the back straightaway, Jimmie Johnson stays in the middle of the racetrack and will pull him by a couple of car lengths. 2 turns away from the checkered flag. Turn 3.
Well, Martin just needs a couple of car lengths trying to loosen him up. Man, he drove it hard in there and out of that corner. That's why Jimmie Johnson is champion right there, folks.
Out of turn 4, headed for the checkered flag, and 3-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion Jimmie Johnson becomes a 3-time winner at the Brickyard 400.
With Dallas Clark of the Indianapolis Colts on the tower, waves the green flag, and we are green. Saw Jeff Gordon get a little close to the wall in turn 2. Juan Pablo Montoya, trouble already down in turn 2. Sam Hornish has turned around. The 18 of Kyle Busch is going around. Hornish still in the middle of the racetrack. Look out, that was close.
Looks like Kyle Busch got by without much damage, but you see Hornish has damage, and also looks like Reed Sorensen.
Definitely Reed Sorensen in it. There is Sam as he has turned around, the 2006 Indy 500 winner. Also, the winner just a couple of weeks ago, David Rudiman.
We had a big
Bodine also in it. Here we go.
It's like Kyle's one sideways.
Yeah, looked like Kyle got sideways and into Hornish. There's 0 into Elliott Sadler's 19.
Yeah, and then you see Reed, and that's where he gets all his damage. He kind of KOs the wall, and then Elliott Sadler. Looks like Bobby Labonte got into it. See a splitter laid on the track, maybe Sadler.
Another angle from down lower. Boy, Hornish, it's amazing he didn't get tagged again. I mean, he was still in the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, but I think he got into the wall right there with the right rear of his car. That's a significant amount of damage for him. These two things kind of happened at the same time right there. I'm not sure that the two of those contacted the 18 and the 77 to start this.
Almost looks like 2 separate spins.
Yeah.
But, you have to almost think they're related here.
Well, let's get an update from pit road. What are you hearing, Doc?
Well, it looks to be minimal. He was overheating, so they had to come in and get a little tape off the front end as you see the 13 with a problem.
Oh, and we've got multiple problems. That's Robbie Gordon as he has shredded the right front.
I have to wonder if maybe Robbie Gordon making that green flag pit stop might have slid the front tires coming to pit road as he tried to get down to pit road speed.
Second caution of the day here as we have completed 14 of the required laps. And boy, the 13 is still on fire.
Man, he is working McMurray over right here. You might have him.
Coming down the stretch. Boy, look at this. Kevin Harvick makes it look easy this time as he becomes our 10th. Oh, no, trouble right at the pit end.
Montoya.
Yeah, we're leaders.
Like Montoya and Jr.
Now we'll have to wait to see when the yellow came out. I do believe Kevin Harvick will stick as the race leader.
It is Montoya.
Juan Pablo has damage to the right side. You're right, Andy. Look at this. Oh, man, what disappointment for the 42.
Well, so much for my call for 4 tires. I was agreeing with that, but it looks like it cost Montoya. Huge.
He led 86 laps today and now finds himself headed.
He just gets sideways out of the groove there.
Oh, yeah. Big lick into the wall. And then Junior has nowhere to go. So a tough break for Junior as he gets swept up in another view.
Yeah, this is just Montoya trying to make something happen there. Probably pretty frustrated that they got themselves in that position.
And I'm looking to see when the yellow comes out. The yellow's out right there, so it does look like Harvick, from that angle at least.
Yeah, I think Harvick definitely has the lead there.
Junior was 15th. Juan was 10th. Let's go on board.
Let's see. Drove in on the outside, I believe, of Carl Edwards there. And then Junior was just innocent victim of that. We'll see here.
Stay high. Come on, high, 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 high.
Yeah, Junior had nowhere to go with Marcus Ambrose trying to avoid the 42 car.
Coming at you again.
How fast things can change. And a very, very disappointing look. And hold your breath this time.
See, Boyer, man, he's really right on the bottom making his car stick.
Yeah, it's that position right there that you lose that air on the spoiler. You're trying to power up and keep the guy behind you. What a great job by Tony Stewart.
Let's listen in on Clint.
Clint had to check up just a
Yeah, he was trying to stay off of Tony. His car was pushed
his way. White flag is out. And this race is going to be official. The final lap. 2.5 miles to go.
Boy, what a great feeling. What a great job Jamie McMurray's done today. Ray Evernham sat down there. Ray, I know you're sitting there saying you're the one that picked this guy, and you have all week stuck with him. And Jamie McMurray looks like he's going to make it come true for Chip Ganassi and make you look like a genius too down there, buddy.
Down the backstretch for the last time. McMurray looking for his 5th Sprint Cup win in his 278th start. In the North Chute, Chip Ganassi. He knows he's this close to making history.
Yeah, he can start smiling now. You see it right there. You can see him come off the corner.
Jamie McMurray is going to win Daytona and the Brickyard 400 in the same year.
Be a part of it, guys. That is outstanding what you've done for Chip Ganassi Racing, fellas. Steve-O, good job, man. Awesome job, Bono. Great pit stop. Awesome job.
/speed. Roush Fenway Racing has never won the Brickyard 400. Hold that thought. Caution flag is out. It's going to be for the 4th time in this race. There is one car into the wall off of turn 2, and it looks like it was Kyle Busch.
Had a problem in New Hampshire where he blew the right front tire out. Hit the wall. Doesn't look like he's hit it that hard this time.
Still all clear. Right there, back there with you on your bumper. Now it's 2x2 behind, bro. 78 with you.
Yeah, he hits it right there at that gate. Yeah, just lost the front end. He was trying to stay in the throttle right behind the 99, but lost the front end. And sometimes it's difficult as you get behind these cars to really judge exactly where that is. And Kyle just getting
the car that's pretty good right now. They're pleased with the way their day has unfolded so far as we get into the stretch run here at the Brickyard.
Yeah, Clint Boyer, somebody. Here comes Jimmie Johnson trying to make a pass on the outside. 4 wide. Was this not going to work?
There you go. There it is. Landon Castle.
A lot of cars coming behind here, though. Look out. Casey Kane sliding through.
That track narrows up in a hurry. I see all the grass on Casey Kane's car. He's going to make another pit stop here to get it off.
Caution flag is out. Right at the 3/4 mark of the race.
You can see grass on all the grills of everybody behind this. Every one of these cars will have to make pit stops. You know, and that 51 car, Landon Castle, he was the first car that didn't have tires of any kind, stayed out there. And you always hate to be that car. He's done it twice today.
Yeah, worst position you can be in as a driver.
And Castle to pit road to get some tires changed before that car gets torn up any further. This got crazy.
Yeah, you did see Jimmie there gets actually into the wall just a little bit. They're making it 3 now, 4 wide. You see the big pull. Denny Hamlin even got a big draft from that.
Yeah, and 3 of those are normally very conservative drivers that we see making that situation of 4 wide with Reagan, Kenseth, and Jimmie Johnson. But it's getting time to do things in this race now. You get such a draft, especially with those 3 cars running like that. You see how Matt Kenseth just pull out and make the pass.
You said it wouldn't work. It didn't work. Landon Castle.
Good push. Back in front of you, on the top, in the middle, right here.
Wow, that was pretty cool. Did a great job to miss that. So you still may have some damage to that front splitter, and see all the grass. You can see it's running hot already. All these cars are going to have to make a pit stop pretty quick to get those grills clean.
Big mess up there in turn 3. Casey Kane, you saw the first one to really dig into that grass. Looked to me like rip that front splitter off the bottom end of the nose of that car, and if that's gone, that's a big repair for that 4 car that's been so strong today. Under caution for the 5th time, 3/4 of the way through the Brickyard 400. Hey, who mowed the grass? A bunch of them just did.
37 laps to go at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. If you're just joining us, you certainly missed a lot. David Reagan led the field to green, but it was Casey Kane who led that very first lap. So far today, he's led 48. More on him in a second. Pit road has been very active.
Pit road's been really tough. You see Tony Stewart and Kevin Harvick kind of getting together, trying to get down pit road. Look at Montoya. He gets in the back of the 31 of Burton, tears up the car a little bit.
Then there's Jimmie Johnson and Brian Vickers getting into it. It's also been a very active day for Juan Pablo Montoya on the track and getting into Mark Martin. He's also had some contact on pit road. There he is there, trying to get some debris off of his grill. But guess what? Montoya has been so good at this track, and now he is lurking. He's in 3rd. This, though, incident just a few laps ago, the biggest incident of the day. He can't really go 4 wide.
You can't go 4 wide. Landon Castle figured that one out. He's the one who lost on this one. Comes sliding across track. Take a look at Casey Kane through the grass. Spins, doesn't hit anything, and everybody's going through this grass, clogging up all the grills, and now they got a heating problem.
Let's take a closer look at what some of these drivers have had to do to get through this. Paul Menard through the grass.
Oh, that's unbelievable. I mean, these guys are carving themselves through there, barely missing these other guys, downshifting big time. Let's take a look at Carl Edwards. Carl gets down into turn 3. There's Mark Martin in front of him. He dives at the bottom, misses him by about a foot, grabs another gear, accelerates right past Landon Castle, back up on the track. I'll tell you what, Nicole and Brad, that was some good driving.
Well, while that was happening, he had
They've been telling Paul, save fuel, save fuel. We will let you know when we can cut you loose. And just a moment ago, he said, you can open it up a little bit.
He's going to need to. He's got some fast cars behind him.
Yeah, you've got those first 5 right there together, all within 1 second of each other. Now they're drafting a little bit, trying to save a little bit of fuel. But when do you decide, okay, I got to go here. I've got to stay in front. See Kyle Busch right at the end of this, too, in the mix in that 6th spot.
Bid for 2nd, McMurray, the defending winner of this race. Not just 2nd, trying to get the race lead.
Looks like Jamie might have decided that he's got enough fuel saved that he can go now.
7.7 seconds back. McMurray goes to the lead. 8 laps to go. The defending winner is out in front. And does he have enough fuel, and has he saved enough to get to the checkered flag?
Let's go. We're turning loose. 24 is 2 seconds faster. We can't give up.
Okay, the race is on here, guys. Here goes Paul.
That was his radio. He was told to go. He's gone to the lead. Paul Menard.
Yeah, he was just told that Jeff Gordon was almost 2 seconds a lap faster these last couple of laps. You can see him well in the picture now.
They got to go. They got to go now, whether they have enough fuel or not.
Can the four-time champion charge all the way to the lead in these final 3 laps?
Jeff Gordon should be able to get by Mark Martin here shortly. If he doesn't have to waste any time getting by Mark, and he's not at all before they get to turn 3. This is Jeff Gordon's race to win right now.
1 lap to go to win the Brickyard 400. Menard dealing with lap traffic. Gordon trying to close in turn 1. Menard is cleared up. Gordon's got to deal with the traffic.
He's got enough fuel. That might be enough now, yes.
Looks good so far. This is going to be the biggest day of Paul Menard's life.
But does he have enough fuel to get to the finish? Gordon clear of traffic. Setting up for the finish. Final corners.
Good corner here.
30-year-old Paul Menard, his family with such a long racing history in Indianapolis, they'll kiss the bricks together now. Paul Menard wins the Brickyard 400.
Wow. Oh, this is huge.
Caution flag is out for the first time at Indianapolis. Travis Quapple's machine, those sparks are not normal. And they're not good.
Yeah, let's go to the garage with it.
Right front down. Pretty hard lick on the right side.
Question is, which came first?
Something or cut that right front tire. You would have to think that. Oh, yeah, that right front let go. That could have been from overuse of the brakes or just running over something on the track. These Goodyears are pretty durable, so they're not just going to give up that quickly.
Yeah, the tire wear has been extremely good since they've gone for this new style compound. Haven't seen any issues.
That was Jeff Gordon trying to follow Biffle and get inside of Joey Logano's got that spot. It looks like trouble now.
Clint Boyer. Caution is out.
Contact at the left rear.
Keep an eye on the left front fender, guys. Don't let it get tore up. Let me know where the leader's at.
There's Boyer right of the screen in the 15.
There's where the damage came in the left front fender.
Flat. Inside. Hang on to it there.
So Clint Boyer, 27th at the time, now on the pit lane with damage.
Problem getting through the corner. Don't know what it was. Doesn't really look like a blown tire. It looked like he had some kind of problem, though, and got out of the groove up against the wall.
Running in 30th place at the time, and you see that Casey has taken...
It looked like Matt Kenseth and Tony Stewart made contact when they were side by side on the back straightaway. I'm not sure that didn't hurt Matt's car.
Oh, Joey Logano in trouble. Turn 1. And here we go.
In the wall, guys. In the wall.
Matt Kenseth just talked about how he was struggling in some of the heavy racing since the restart. And now the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship leaders got fire coming from under his car. Fortunately, Matt's out.
And that certainly may have been even more the issue. See, Logano just got down in there, tried to get it really low, got loose. And the problem started more from there.
It looked like Kenseth had the right line to avoid it. Then when Bobby Labonte made contact with Logano, it pushed him back up the track. Nowhere to go for Matt.
See, Matt could have continued on, but he saw this fire. He just spins it out, trying to help put some of that out and get near. Once again, Logano's doing his best to hang on right here.
It looks like Matt's going to make it by. Up. Across the track comes Logano.
That was a race for 21st position.
All that fire coming out of the left front is probably from an oil cooler or oil line rupture.
Here's how far back Matt had gotten because he had been up and sees the white flag. Final lap is underway for the leader in Indianapolis. Such a tremendous feeling to know that you and your team have put it all together. You show up for the big races, you know you have one chance a year to get it all done, Andy, and this team is there.
They've executed well all day long. It's paying off here on this last lap. One thing I love about Jimmie Johnson, though, is it never gets old. It'll be just like he won his first Brickyard race.
Johnson said you come through the tunnel and history starts talking to you, and he's so happy to have had 3 special moments for himself at this track. Said, I hope to have a 4th. His hero, Rick Mears, won the Indianapolis 500 4 times. They've got something to talk about. As Johnson clears the final corner and the checkered flag is in the air. A 4th win in the Brickyard 400 to Jimmie Johnson.
The cars make their pit stops.
Trouble, Trevor Bayne. This might really help Denny Hamlin.
Caution.
Just hold on here. Hold on. Coming to you here. Coming to you. Hold the brake.
Almost had it saved. Had his tire go down. Almost saved it with the inside guardrail on the right front. No brake. Looks like this.
Trevor Bayne running in 19th position in the Wood Brothers.
It's like he'd gotten out of shape, got against the wall. This could have cut a right rear tire down. And then right here in this pack, you'll see him coming into the corner.
Not a good place for a tire to go down, but that's probably the worst. Really does a nice job of keeping it off the outside wall right there.
He's standing on the throttle there. He's not on the brakes.
No, not on the brake. He drove it around there, but then couldn't get it stopped as he got into that wet grass and it got nose into the guardrail.
From Eric Almirola's view.
Stay low. Clear. No caution. Caution. No caution.
And we pointed out early on, they've had a lot of very good races, but just find ways not to win once again today.
Hold it there, bud.
He's in the last lap. And as we look out the window across at the grandstands, all the fans that are here at the Speedway today are now on their feet, watching to see if Jeff Gordon comes back around to take another checkered flag. Final corners. He won the first one in 1994. 20 years later, he wins the 21st. Checkered flag in the Brickyard 400 to Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, buddy. Great stuff all over you on the best.
2 by 2 through 3 and 4. Oh, and around goes a 15. Clint Boyer spinning through the short chute. Also caught up Jeff Gordon.
Can't see you. Get it rolling if you can.
Jeff Gordon with a lot of damage. I don't think Clint Boyer had any damage at all. I'm not sure he ever hit anything, but Jeff Gordon had a lot of contact. He's, I think his chances to win today are gone.
And that's the other risk when you take 4 tires and you go back in the pack. We talk about strategy and speed and all that, but the one thing about staying out when you keep track position is normally you have a little better chance of not getting caught up in an accident.
See the 15 and the 4 side by side. The 15 got free, had, obviously got spun it out. Jeff Gordon trying to miss him, just, ran out of steering wheel, just didn't have anywhere to go, ended up getting in the wall. But that's an example of the 15 of Boyer being underneath Harvick, just losing the car. No side force because all the air is being pulled off of him. Jeff Gordon and Casey Kane trying to figure out where they're going. Jeff Gordon has to get in the brakes and ends up getting locked up. Dale Jr. just snuck by.
Looks like the 15 of Clint Boyer may have gotten into the left rear quarter panel of the 4 of Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, he was just getting up the racetrack because he lost. See how he wiggled? Yep. He wiggled, then he chased it up the racetrack. No big damage to either one of those cars, though.
That shot always amazing. Here we are on board with Dale Earnhardt Jr. You're going to see way in the top of your screen is going to be the 15 car. He's underneath the 4. You're going to see him get loose. The 24 is in front of you. He gets caught up in the accident as well.
Sideways went the 15.
Still out there. Caution.
Talk so much about how much this race has meant.
Kevin Harvick has a gap of 1.1 second between himself and Carl Edwards. And around goes the 43 of Eric Almirola. Caution will come out.
Caution down behind us, turn 2, safe.
Another one of our cars battling for that chase spot, that final chase spot, having trouble. It's not a sound a driver likes to hear.
Yeah, a lot of damage being done right now to the 43. He was 17th.
He just got loose, left the corner behind another car. We've heard all day long how when you're behind somebody, your car is really loose. He was behind 2 cars. Back end just came around on him. He lost it. Ended up getting into this inside wall. A lot of damage to the car. But again, watch his hands. You heard him playing with the throttle. He was trying to get the car right here. He's messing with the throttle. He hit it, wah, 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 trying to get the car to come back around. He couldn't do it. When he saw he couldn't do it, he just locked it down. That's your only recourse. You try to stay in the gas and get it pointed in the right direction, but when you can't get it, you just got to lock it down.
Pit road is open. 33 of Brian Scott. Hard contact to the outside wall for the 33. A lot of damage to the right side.
It's an interesting time for a yellow. There's 40 to go right here. We heard all day long everybody could run 34 to 38 laps. Oh, he's
going to cut the tire. He's back into the wall. This is what happened initially.
He's way out of the groove, obviously. When we got in the screen, he's already wrecking. He finally ran out of the racetrack, but it's way out of the groove when we got to him.
He was running 29th, 1 lap down into the safer barrier. A lot of damage to that right side.
Yeah, he was the last car of a line of 4 cars, and we've heard the drivers complain all day about how bad.
What happens is you have that problem, you go to the back, now the tires are on top of you. But the front of this group, Kyle Busch has had a great car all day long. He's never been in a position to really see the leader, to see if he can push his car. Here he is, 13 to go, trying to run down Kevin Harvick.
Fighting for spots, into the grass goes the 88, around he goes, he'll get, so close to turn 1 wall, and the caution comes out. He does kiss the wall with the right rear. All the way down into the grass on the inside of turn 1, he slides up and hits the wall.
Just these restarts are so aggressive. Everybody's trying to get some while they can. A lot of guys have new tires in the back of the pack trying to make some moves. Just very aggressive. He's all the way in the grass in turn 1.
Let's look back to what just happened. Earnhardt Jr. will be trying to make his way back to pit road.
Well, he turns to go, and there's Casey Kane's underneath him. He never knew Kane was there. Now he's in the grass with the splitter. Some people behind him will probably have to pit because that grass will be on the grills.
And remember, on the pit stop, they had a problem with the left side. They couldn't change the left rear tire because they had a problem with the gun. And so they had to go with the front tire changer's gun to change it. So that's why he was mired back in traffic. And this is what the result is.
Brian
Ryan Scott avoiding in the 33. We ride along with him.
Hold the brake.
He just never knew Casey was there. He turned left, he saw a hole, he knew he had to get to the bottom. If he didn't, he was going to lose a lot of positions. Sometimes you make a move out of desperation. That's what that was. He just...
Kyle Busch on the inside, race leader. Kevin Harvick on the outside. Green flag back in the air. A bad restart for the 4. He's struggling to get up to speed. Here comes the 22, looking to the outside of the 18. A great restart for Joey Logano.
The 11 was hitting the 4 so hard that he had the rear tires off.
And behind him, there's a wreck. Into the wall goes Trevor Bayne in the 6.
Yellow's out here, yellow's out.
Now we'll have a green-white checker. Now will we have a fuel issue, crew chief Steve Letarte.
I think we've had enough yellows. They're safe, but
in the 4 trying to help him. He's hitting him so hard that he's got his rear tires knocked off the ground. That's why he can't get going. The 22 is pushing the 18 just like they did on the first restart. The 11 was trying to help the 4 because if the 11 could help the 4, he could help himself. He just was actually trying to help him too much. Just the timing was off on that.
And now let's look back in the pack.
Still outside. One.
Just looks like 3 cars trying to go down to turn 1 and not enough room, and the 6 gets turned around and up the track he goes.
So a lot of damage to the 6 of Trevor Bayne.
Yeah, he was driving angrily back to the pits because this is not the Brickyard 400 he was hoping to have.
Yep.
Now remember, they're scoring loops around the racetrack.
Signal to go. Green flag back in the air. Not a lot of help for either driver up front. Kyle Busch with the advantage going into turn 1. He's going to make it stick.
Clear.
He has the lead through the short chute.
But we saw yesterday in the Xfinity Series how easy it is to overdrive these corners. One mistake by Kyle Busch with this new package, he'll lose momentum and the 22 will be there.
He's all over the back bumper as they come into turn number 3. Joey Logano chasing down the 18 of Kyle Busch. Through 3 in the short chute and into turn 4. Can he keep the momentum up?
It's going to be hard to beat Kyle Busch if he can stay in the gas like that. He barely lifted the throttle. You can hear how much throttle he was able to stay in. That was unbelievable. If he can do that, he'll be hard to beat.
White flag in the air. One more time around the Brickyard.
One back here. Watch him.
A flawless turn number 1. Through the short chute and into 2. He's got a big lead. Kyle Busch looking to make the sweep. A little debris on the front. It's not going to matter. He's going to go as hard as he can.
That's only going to help at this point. That's more downforce. They don't care about temps. 2 more good corners for Kyle Busch.
Into 3. The gap closed just a bit by Joey Logano. Right back into the gas through the short chute. Into turn 4. Now all Kyle Busch is going to see will be the flag stand. Fans on either side. Kyle Busch is going to add his name to the illustrious list of Brickyard 400 winners.
Better than you, Kyle Busch. I haven't met him yet. I love you, brother. Great work, team. This is awesome.
Pit, there can't be a yellow. That will ruin the strategy.
37 laps out front, and it looks as though a caution will come out as Greg Biffle slams the right side of his car into the wall.
That is a heavy impact right there.
A lot of damage to the right side of that car. It happens quickly here at Indianapolis. You're carrying so much speed through these 90-degree turns. Kelly.
What a shame for Greg Biffle.
Take a look up against the wall already. The 16 of Greg Biffle bringing out just the 2nd caution of the day at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A win if you come to pit road early.
And it's not just Jimmie Johnson, the car that just got lapped. We are closing.
Into the wall. It's a 23. David Reagan. That will bring the caution out. See, the left rear tire is down. 3rd caution of the day comes out.
This is the fence pretty good there. I'm not sure if the radiator.
See what happened.
You see his hand is out the window. He knew he had a problem. Came off turn 1, had a problem up in the marbles, but looks like
left rear tire was down.
Sure.
Yeah. And into the wall goes David Reagan, bringing out the third caution that will reset the field. You guys mentioned restarts. They'll be coming up next. So when they get to the start-finish line, as they get ready to enter the restart zone, can Kyle Busch hold them off for 7 more laps? Green flag back in the air. Not a good restart for Martin Truex Jr. He falls back all the way to 4th. And around goes the 19. Carl Edwards hard into the wall. 31 also around. The 12 or the 2 of Brad Keselowski connected. Danica Patrick in the 10 also involved.
We're back from 43.
Ryan Blaney, I believe the 21, may have been caught up. Ryan Blaney, we had just praised.
Side. 19 just gets up the racetrack. I don't know if he got loose, got tight, got into the side of 31, and behind that it's just over.
He had mentioned earlier that his car got really tight on the last restart. We saw him go off the racetrack. You wonder if it leads with the nose. It's hard to tell. Definitely gets into 31's left rear quarter panel. Nothing he could do. But how about Kevin Harvick? Hard right-hand turn, got by the spinning 31.
That was a big hit for Carl Edwards. That was a hard hit. And also, you know, about the 4 right behind the 19. Remember, when you get that close to another car, you're pulling the air off of that car. So you're taking a lot of downforce away from that car. You have a car on the outside of you, a car underneath, in front of you. All those things make your car very, very difficult to drive. And he already had trouble on the restart before. He said his car did not turn well at all. You take the aerodynamics away from the car, the downforce, and it drives worse. Watch the 4 car here.
Yeah, we're on board with the 4 car. You're going to see.
Watch him here. 2 and the 2 wide. 2 wide, 2 by 2. Still outside. Tight.
The 19 just comes up the racetrack. You hear the throttle control. Kevin Harvick does a nice job not running into him. You see up in the right-hand corner of your screen, the red flag has been displayed. The field's been stopped. This is another onboard right here. Ryan Blaney. Nowhere to go. A heavy impact.
Hold it right there.
That hurts. You see him holding his left arm. You see him clenching his left fist.
Very hard contact for
Brickyard. Just like racing on the beach in Daytona, man.
Great restart for Kyle Busch. Joey Logano moves all the way up to 2nd. He gets in front of Matt Kenseth. Logano trying to win the Brickyard 400 for the first time for Penske. Kyle Busch did exactly what he said he wanted to do. Get out in front and try to put distance between himself and the field. Oh, around goes the 6. Trevor Bayne into the inside wall. The 15 of Clint Boyer also.
Yellow's out.
Caution is out. They didn't get back to the white. We will now have overtime.
We're back around here.
Another driver that was right on the cut line to get into the playoffs. Trevor Bayne in the 6.
So Trevor Bayne trying to block Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer had a run on him. Trevor Bayne trying to block him. Not going well for either one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that point, I know they're racing hard, but with only 6 cars 1 lap down, both of these cars are 1 lap down. These are the decisions that Trevor Bayne has to make better decisions on. While I know he needs the block, but he runs the 15. You see all the way to the grass. Clint Boyer could get out of the gas, but why should he? He feels he's inside the 6. It's unfortunate for both of them, but to be real about the situation, a much bigger penalty for the 6.
Oh, wife Samantha Busch there. The reaction. Lead and control car. Green flags back in the air. We're in overtime, sponsored by Credit One. And around goes the 1 of Jamie McMurray. He'll slide back up the racetrack. Caution is out again. 44 of Brian Scott, the 3 of Austin Dillon involved. Damage to the 31 of Ryan Newman. Entering turn number 1.
In the high line, trying to accelerate. They're past the start-finish line, looking to enter turn 1. And it just takes a hard left. I don't know if he thinks he was going to be clear in front of the 14, Jeff, but the 1 takes a hard left across the right front fender of Tony Stewart, sending the 1 down to the access road, really.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to hit really hard right here. I thought he kind of got lucky, but as he comes across the racetrack, he gets in the side of the 31. Had the 31 not been there, he would have hit the wall much harder, in my opinion. So I thought he kind of went through there unscathed, but look at the left rear on the 1 car. I mean, I'm sure it's flat because he got into the 14, but as abruptly as he went, I agree with you. I think he was trying to get in front of the 14. He saw that hole, just misjudged it a little bit. Contact.
You know, but you do have a point. Was it flat? Is that what made the 1 turn left? Or was the contact with the 14? Without a doubt, the left rear's flat. But was it the contact or the result? On board with the 14 would be a great shot right here.
He just saw the hole. He saw the hole and went for it. You know, we've been talking about it.
Keep digging.
You've got to find your way to the bottom. Right here, there's a hole. There's a gap behind the 24 car. He sees it. He goes into it. 14 coming. That's right at the braking zone, too. Okay? So that's what makes that very difficult to judge. It's right on the braking zone, and you don't know if the 14 is going to brake or not, you know, as far as where he lives. So the 1 of Jamie, he saw that hole. He went for it. The 14 also saw that hole and knows he needs to fill it. So he's trying to move up in there.
Second attempt at overtime. Busch able to clear the 22 of Joey Logano. He gets up the racetrack a little bit higher as they come out of 2. That allows Kenseth to move inside of Joey Logano. Now the race to the overtime line. They stay green. He gets to the overtime line. It will be an official attempt at overtime. Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth. Joey Logano's dropped back to 3rd. Denny Hamlin, 4th.
Point flag 1 by 10. They'll get Dyson here again. Coming back no matter what. No worries. Hit your mark.
They spread out as they come by the grandstands. 1 lap to go. The question now, do they have enough fuel to go all the way around? Through 1 and 2. Kyle Busch way out front. Kyle Busch, after winning the championship in 2015, many wondered if he could finish races, if he could win the championship. He showed everyone a year ago he could do just that. Now he'll get through 4 for the final time at the Brickyard in a racetrack that makes legends. Kyle Busch has been legendary today. Kyle Busch, back-to-back, wins at the Brickyard.
Woo! Let's get some skills on the brakes, boys! Yes! Way to go, team! This is your house, KB. Your house, man. I'm proud of you. You did it.
Top 10. See the speeds as they go through the turn. Saw there Larson 165 as the caution comes out again. It's J.J. Yaley this time, looking as though he has had an issue. Also involved the 33 of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Jeffrey's got damage on the back of his car and on the front of his car.
That happened.
This is like contact right in the middle of the corner. Almost looks like they were 3 wide. It's a little hard to tell, to be quite honest. But
Stewart, no pressure behind.
yeah, that's what
Keep rolling here. Keep coming low.
Reagan
No
jumped up
caution
on the
yet.
outside
No caution yet.
of J.J. Yaley, and J.J. had a car right behind him, and you can see the back of the car just come around on J.J. Yaley. He was in a bad situation having a car on.
Or 2.5 for them to do that. And when we talk about the gap being 0.9 of a second, those second half are very important as we see smoke coming out from J.J. Yaley. The right front tire down on this car. Possibly another caution coming out if he can't get off the racetrack.
A lot of teams hoping the caution does come out. Some teams are hoping it doesn't.
Come down.
He gets off of the racetrack and will be able to make his way onto pit road, but the caution does come out.
I was getting ready to say the problem is even if he's off the racetrack, just the debris that's come off of that race car.
And you can see a lot of damage down. He has already come off the wall there after that right front tire went down.
Yeah, you said it. He was in that earlier incident. It seems like every week we see a car get in an incident. They try to get the car back on the racetrack. Fenders don't get cleared. Something's rubbing a tire below.
Those front two cars have just unbelievable speed. And it's funny.
Around goes the 17. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. hard into the inside wall. A lot of damage to the front end.
We got turned down the back. Can't see the damage. I think we're going to be done. Yeah, we're done.
He's running 15th. We keep talking about these restarts. We saw the shot a little while ago from A.J. Allmendinger. I'm sorry. Side by side with Jimmie Johnson. You see he lost the bottom. With Jimmie Johnson on the outside, it's just so difficult to maintain that speed with somebody on the outside of you because aerodynamically, all that air is being pulled off your car.
That's hot. So they're even. To their quarters, west of 22. You roll the bottom of 22 is going to back up, Jim. It's 48 right here. Keep. What you got?
Hey guys, as I look at that, really representative of what we see a lot of times in these race cars, how important that right rear is, and he just lost that side force on the right rear. Jeff, I know you can talk about this a little bit. When you lose that side force on the right rear, when a car is squeezing you like Jimmie was, sometimes you're just a helpless passenger at that point because when you're relying so much on that aero effect, and when it's gone, the car is just gone from you.
Yeah, no question, Parker, and that's exactly what happened. And the other thing that made that situation a little bit worse is that Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he made a fast move on the bottom of Jimmie Johnson trying to fill that hole. He didn't do anything wrong, but when you do that, there's no more playing. It's time to go. It is. If I'm Kyle Busch, I'm contesting this spot.
Who has the better restart? A drag race into turn one. Oh, Kyle Busch slides and does the 78. They both go up into the wall through turn one. Caution comes out.
Lock her down. We're done. KO'd.
Fighting for the spot. The 18 got loose up high. The 78 was loose down low. 78 slid up and hit the 18. They both go around. Big flames underneath the hood of Martin Truex Jr.'s car.
17 continues. Here you go. Kyle Busch on the outside. Just rolls up on the outside of 78. 78 gets loose, just like we saw with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. a minute ago. Got loose getting in the corner. Could not hold the car on the bottom. Gets in the side of the 18. Ty Dillon, great job not running into the side of Kyle Busch. This is racing. This is side by side. I know it's 49 to go, but it's side by side racing for the win. You saw the wiggle from Martin Truex Jr. He just could not hold the car on the bottom without being loose. Had to turn the car to the right or he would have spun out and got into the side of the 18. It's hard racing. It's track position racing. You have to be aggressive. You have to push on these restarts. This is the result when you push, but if you don't, you're not going to win these races.
The winless streak will continue for Kyle Busch. It now goes over a year.
Look at the rear of that car just fold up.
And we had just seen it on the previous restart, Rick. These two cars left the field by 1 second in one lap. They were hands down the two most dominant cars here today, both eliminated. I'm not sure I know who the favorite is now.
Is there a new favorite?
Anyone else?
Well, who's going to step up and seize the opportunity? It's there. It's there for the taking.
Coach Gibbs.
Today on fuel mileage, but obviously, we've got a caution.
Caution on the racetrack. The 14 of Clint Boyer involved.
Hold the brake.
Also the 41 of Kurt Busch. Hard damage to the front of that car.
Stay left there if you can. Got one coming outside.
And he's up against the wall. It'll be difficult for him to climb out if he can't get that car away from the wall.
I don't see no fire or nothing, but get on out.
Let's take a look at what just happened.
See Clint Boyer Comes off the corner, gets loose. Eric Jones is underneath him. Big impact. It was around the 14th position. Going back across the racetrack, right in front.
Yeah, the 41 of Kurt Busch.
Big impact.
There was a car in front of Clint that got loose.
Yes.
But that saved it. And that's what drew my attention away from Clint Boyer. But if you look right behind that car, that's where the 14 actually loses control.
Yeah, I believe it's Paul Menard that got loose. Wow.
And that was, Kurt Busch would have avoided this, but the 14 came up. Let's ride along with Kurt Busch on the helmet cam.
You see him crashing down. Crash date's coming up. He's coming up. Coming in the middle. Hold the brakes there, bud, when you can.
Seen that too many times, Rick. That's
wow,
as real as it gets. Big impact. Shoots Boyer back across the racetrack.
Fortunately, to miss the end of that pit wall.
Yeah,
I know it was another hard impact, but the end of that pit wall would have been another awkward impact as we see the red flag now being displayed, Rick.
Yeah, a lot of cleanup's going to have to take place here.
It's amazing.
So violent.
Cars going that fast, how they just rebound back into the racetrack. Cuff wins. He knows how to win these races. He hasn't won in a long time. Resort back in your brain to when you were winning these races.
Oh, into the wall. Right in the front stretch. The 42 of Kyle Larson into the wall, and a caution comes out.
Jarrett, hold it up here.
Right in the middle of the front stretch. Flames from underneath the hood.
Here, unhook your stuff. You can get out.
See him having to get that hose unhooked before he can get out. That hose blows air to the helmet. He had to get it unhooked before he could get out of the race car. That thing will hold you in if you don't first get that
car.
Yeah, Ty Dillon with a big block, but Kyle Larson couldn't go on any lower. You put Kyle Larson in a position where he either was going to lift or wreck, and
there was a little contact with the 21 of Ryan Blaney as well as he was coming up the racetrack. So a lot of cleanup that still needs to be done on the track. There's parts to the 42 car.
And much like we saw with the 78, Rick, the 42 makes contact multiple times with the wall. Decent contact, not a huge impact. This one right here, though, actually might have been one of the bigger hits. And at that point, you see all the red sparks. Finally, it catches some sort of fluid on fire up underneath the hood, whether that's oil or fuel after knocking the line loose. As you said, he ran up so low. Jeff, do you think some of the speedy dry, as soon as we started to see the dust, it's like the 42 came around. I don't know if he lost traction or what that low in the front stretch.
I just think two cars running that hard and maybe just a little bit of contact between the two. It's Indy, 6 to go. Blocking for every position, but you know, Ty really low, trying to use that wall to his advantage, almost as a pick.
All of the debris being cleaned up on the racetrack. Still under a yellow flag condition. So the cars are rolling around the track. There are 5 laps remaining.
This restart is going to be as difficult or more difficult for the 5 of Kasey Kahne. He'll now have Brad Keselowski to his outside. Jimmie Johnson right behind him on the inside line.
It's a good view of it right there. Look, just looked like a little bit of contact just right before, and then Larson moved to the left, tried to correct the car, then the car went back to the right. But you're right, Steve. I think that this restart is going to be more difficult. Remember that the 31 of Ryan Newman, he had on older tires. So that was a huge advantage to Kasey Kahne. Certainly you could beat Ryan Newman through 1 and 2 with those old tires, but now it's going to be much difficult. Much, much more difficult.
That's Keith Rodden.
Not the caution you wanted to see. They had gotten out to about a 6 or so.
A
lot of smoke out of Jimmie Johnson's car.
48, smoke rolling out from underneath the car. He's still up to speed. Brad Keselowski with a great restart. He's on the outside of the 5. The 5 wiggles. Up the racetrack he goes, but he stays straight. Side by side again through 2. Keselowski strong.
Jimmy said it was blowing up, Rick.
Keselowski makes the pass. He's in front of the 5, but not completely cleared it. Here comes the 48 to the inside. The 48 still smoking. 3 wide for the lead as they enter turn 3. Brad Keselowski on the outside. Around goes the 48. The 48 blows up and into the wall it goes. The caution comes out again.
You want to know what winning a race means? It means 3 drivers are willing to drive 3 wide into turn 3 at Indianapolis at over 200 miles.
Spot. Keselowski does everything he's supposed to do, gets close to the 5. Now look how loose the 5 gets right here up into the side of the 2. Jimmie Johnson with huge momentum with smoke coming out of the back of the car like it's blowing up. Now right now, Kasey Kahne in lift, and I can promise you, it's been a long time since he's win. He's going to drive it in there. Every one of these guys wants to win a Brickyard 400. The 48 car very bottom gets loose. Around he goes. Don't tell me these drivers don't want to win this race.
A car supposedly blowing up, and he was the one that made the move to the inside to try to take the lead going into 3.
That's dedication, that's heart, that's desire, that's wanting a Brickyard 400 trophy for Keselowski, for Jimmie Johnson. Both champions. For Kasey Kahne, it's, hey, I'm back.
How about Trevor Bayne? He was able to avoid all of that, stay in 3rd, clip the grass, as a matter of fact, as he was going through turn 3.
Look at this, man.
Light contact between the 5 and the 2 of Brad Keselowski, assuming it doesn't cut a tire. That shouldn't affect them on the restart. I don't know what Trevor Bayne was thinking going down the backstretch, but we're going to have to find out after the race, because I'm sure he didn't know which one of the 3 he was going to follow into turn 3.
But you know what's amazing about that? They knew they weren't coming out. They knew, that's right. They knew they were going in there 3 wide. They were pretty sure they would be the one that came out, but you have to know 3 wide at Indy, somebody's not coming out of that corner.
And the 48 is going to be towed back into the garage. Kelly.
And we've seen that 5 of Kasey Kahne just barely being able to hold off the 2 of Brad Keselowski. His team discussing strategy.
It'll be 2 laps to go. Kasey Kahne determining the restart. Once he enters the restart zone, he gets a shove behind him. Green flag back in the air. Caution's going to come out. They're wrecking behind him. Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney. Look at all the damage to the 15. Smoke coming out of the 11. Ray Gaulding involved in the 55.
This wreck is because you're coming green-white checker.
Trevor Bayne was 3rd. He was just behind Brad Keselowski. Three of Austin Dillon also in there.
Look right here. Look at Kate. See Keselowski's hand out the window. He's asking for help. Hey, push me. Give me a push. That's what this is all about. And it actually helps Brad Keselowski. He actually gets ahead of Trevor Bayne, I believe. This push from the 6 car is better than the push from the 11. The 11 pushing Kahne actually knocked the rear tires off the ground. The push from the 6 pushed the 2 car ahead.
And Michael McDowell in the 95 was pushing the 6 and pushed him right around.
I think the leader of this race just switched. I think Brad Keselowski is going to be the leader of this race. Again, just everybody's pushing long straightaways. Everybody wants to be the first line into turn 1.
And it's hard to reference, but it looks like Kasey Kahne chooses to wait to the end of the restart zone. Now, he can absolutely do that. He can fire the race anytime in start that zone. But the problem when you wait is everyone's trying to anticipate. So they roll up on you. So here you'll see the zone, and it looks to me like the 5 chooses not to go. So as Brad starts to accelerate right here as they get close to the zone, the 5 waits.
And look at the gap behind the 95 and behind the 20. That's what all these people are trying to do. They're trying to time when to go and when to make that push happen. All those timings don't happen right. We end up with this bunched up group.
And that's what it is. Denny Hamlin accelerates like the 5's going to go right at the start of the zone. The 5 doesn't go. This is the view. You can see how much movement there is left to right, and then finally the 6 of Jeff Urbane just gets pushed out of line. So now basically the leader will be decided off from a loop line, the last loop line crossed before the yellow flag was thrown. But it looked to me that the 2 had cleared the 5. So we'll have to get word from NASCAR. But I agree. I think Brad Keselowski is the leader of the race.
And NASCAR has confirmed that the 2 is the leader of the race, so Brad Keselowski will be able to determine if he wants to restart on the inside or outside.
And it goes back to Jeff, you said it. Let's go all the way back to the last restart where the 2 got to the outside of the 5. That's where this really started. Then the conversation from Kasey Kahne to his team, which line should I be in? What did they say? You can run the top, but you have got to accelerate out of the box first. Kasey Kahne then goes into his bag of tricks from racing his entire career. What is the best chance of accelerating out of the box first? Is it go as soon as I get to the line? Do I wait and try to get them to check up? I mean, those are the games that are played within that zone. And he...
Green flag back in the air. Overtime, sponsored by Credit One Bank, is underway. Great restart for the 5 of Kasey Kahne. Can he hold it on the bottom of the track? Kahne gets by him. Smoke rolling out behind the 11. Kasey Kahne in front of the 2 of Brad Keselowski. They go down the backstretch. Still smoke coming out of the 11. He gets up. Goes around. They wreck behind him. Did they get to the overtime line? They haven't got there yet. Has the caution come out yet? Now the caution comes out. The question will be, did the caution come out after he crossed the overtime line? A lot of damage to the 27 of Paul Menard. The 11 of Denny Hamlin. We saw smoke rolling out from underneath the 11. We're going to find out if there's the white flag. We just saw the white flag indicating that they did get to the overtime line before the caution came out.
There you see parts and pieces bouncing off the car, smoke. It looks like all the tires have air. We're going to have to see what broke on the 78.
Turn 3, 19. And look, we got a crash. The 43's in the wall in turn 3 here. Spinning down in front of cars. Oh, contact. 51 couldn't get slowed down enough. Cloud, I believe.
So Bubba Wallace in the 43 initiates this, and then the 51 slides into him of David Starr.
Watching this coming down into turn 3, Bubba got loose, got turned by someone. Yeah, so he tried to straighten up the entry. I mean, that's the same thing that happened to him at Pocono. And so you know, your instincts are to aim left and try to, go through the grass and slow the car down some way, somehow. And he did a great job staying out of the wall with the issue he had, but without brakes, he can't stop the car as he's rolling down in front of oncoming traffic. Typically, he would have been on the brakes and be able to stop the car and stop that accident there from happening. I have to imagine when Matt Kenseth took the opportunity to come back and drive these race cars. Oh, we got a crash off of turn 2.
Big wreck involved. You see the 47 as well as the 88s. So A.J. Allmendinger in the 47. A lot of damage to that race car. Saw the 88 of Alex Bowman trying to avoid, but the right front bent up, as well as some damage to the left rear and the right rear.
I think this is they get together and head into the fence. Heavy contact with the right rear quarter panel for the 88.
That was a fight for 16th, Junior.
Look at the 41. Kurt Busch and the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse splitting the two spinning race cars.
Another look as they catch the wall. Yeah, the 47 just got into the back of the 88. Both of them sliding into that outside wall, and then a hard contact for Allmendinger on the inside wall.
You know, Rick, the safer barriers are getting their workout here in Indianapolis, but the first racetrack to have them. Great safety innovation. The first track that NASCAR goes to that had safer barriers here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
You don't want to test them, but they've been tested a couple times already today. Riding along with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. To the inside he went, was able to avoid.
Turn 2. 23 car.
J.J. Yaley.
Looks like he's got a flat tire of some kind of an issue there.
4 tires, he's spun around.
See the car buckling.
Would you say that is a Burt Reynolds throwback paint scheme on them apart for 23 of Yaley? An air issue?
Yeah, just inside another car. We've seen this, how fast these corners are. You need all the downforce, all the side force, and it looks like underneath that other car, the 23 loses the grip. JJ spins around and makes slight contact with the tire barrier.
Yeah, the car he's lapping there. LaJoie is a lap down. Made contact with the right side on the outside fence as well. And that
even without
a caution. Crash into short chute of turn 3 and 4.
Big crash there.
There's the caution.
Caution comes out. Landon Castle involved.
Heavy damage on the 00 of Landon Castle.
Saw he was running 28th. Also, that's the 96 of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
I saw this accident happen right in front of me. Jeffrey Earnhardt on the inside of. You see Jeffrey get loose. It's just side by side through the corner is tough here, and it takes the side force off of the inside car. And if you're in that car, you have to be ready and know that, and try to anticipate it. Hard to do though.
And what a huge impact for both of those cars. You see the 00 Landon Castle kind of got squeezed into the wall, and both of those guys hit really hard.
We've already seen Jeffrey Earnhardt climb out of the 96.
Look at this right here. It just squeezes Castle. That is a major impact for both drivers.
One lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Eric Jones up to second. Keselowski, Jones 1 and 2. Hamlin falls back to third.
Holy cow, what a great last handful of laps we've had at Indianapolis. It's about to be the captain and Keselowski getting ready to drive into victory lane at the Brickyard. Keselowski is gone off 2.
Roger Penske has never won the Brickyard 400. 2 more corners, and Brad Keselowski is going to bring that gift to the boss man. Here he comes down in turn 3. A big lead on Eric Jones, who is a surprise second-place finish.
And not only a Brickyard 400 win, but think about the 2 car. They were pretty much unheard of in the regular season. 2 wins in a row now coming to the playoffs.
2 crown joyals. Last week it was the Southern 500. This week the Brickyard 400 for Keselowski.
Hell yeah, 2 Rockies in a row. Are you kidding me?
That is unbelievable.
Thank you, everybody.
We We saw fire coming out of the back of the 11 also. Denny Hamlin, hard contact with the wall, still on fire. We see the flames shooting out from underneath the hood.
Red and black were already out. Practice is coming to a close.
He had an issue. The car would not turn. Getting into turn 3, I can see the marks right now. Just went straight into the wall.
Stopping behind. Now Denny's climbing out. He got the helmet off.
You mentioned it, Rick. All the drivers just stopped, give him plenty of room, let him get out. Great job by those guys. Good to see him get out. That was a big hit, huge hit.
Yeah, Denny gets to the inside wall as the smoke continues to roll out. Drivers, you see Brad Keselowski waving at him, making sure that he's okay.
Here's off the bumper cam. The car is just never even attempts to make the corner. I don't know. Something is obviously amiss. That's not a place that you would expect a driver to have control issues.
Yeah, and from my vantage point, there's a distinct black mark where he had the tires locked up trying to get it slowed down. If he would have made a mistake, he would have been chasing the car, trying to catch the car right as he got into the corner. That's not what happened. I couldn't see, but I don't know if the tire went down, but something broke on that car. Clearly, he just went perfectly straight.
We haven't seen a throttle hang for a long time. Is that something that is something of the past? I mean, you mentioned the tire marks trying to slow it down.
I'm not going to say it's impossible. Mechanical failures happen. Tires are rubber and air. If you run over or something, it's going to cut the tire down. Good to see. See right here, gets out and all that smoke.
Turn number 1, hard contact for Ryan Blaney. Make that another car, slamming into the outside wall. They come into turn number 2. It's Landon Castle. Landon Castle just pile drives the turn 1 safer barrier, and he rides the wall all the way through 1 and all the way through 2.
And we witnessed the second contact in that 0-0 of Landon Castle, and now waiting to see the window net come down. And there it is. That's a great sign as the safety crews will immediately get to him.
Rick, that car is hit so hard.
Let loose on the right front, probably a tire going down there, right in front of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Landon Castle at this point, along for the ride and into the wall. Wow, what a hit.
That's the most violent hit that I've seen in a long time. At the end of the front straightaway, almost max speed around this racetrack. Hard angle into the wall.
Eric Jones is sideways. He and Keselowski make contact. Keselowski and Jones into the outside wall. And Brad will slam hard into the inside wall. Massive, massive collision for Brad Keselowski, who makes just a hellacious hit into the inside wall off turn 2.
And it looks as though that car is sideways, maybe up on top. Yeah, it's up on top of the tire barriers. So Brad Keselowski, you see the window net is down, but hard contact for the 2 and Brad Keselowski into those tire barriers. He's going to try to climb out of that car.
And then Eric Jones tries to feel the hole, and Brad, it's very tight right there. Brad coming down the 20, trying to get in that position, and it took all the air off the right side of that 20 car. Eric Jones getting a little bit loose there underneath the 2.
The passenger side contact for that 2 getting up under the tires.
I actually think those tires were very well placed. That wall is kind of an opposite angle. So while it looks very dangerous up on its side like that, I think that protected Brad from hitting kind of a negative angle against a very solid wall. This is another view. Look at the 20 with a huge impact, and then the 2 slides across the left side right here. And as I mentioned, those tire barriers, Jeff, why, they look vicious. I think they have to be softer than the concrete wall behind them.
Yeah, normally tires, there's a problem with tires, but in this case, I mean, yes, it put the car on its side, but look how fast they're still going. This impact right here, you would think would have slowed the car down more, but as he turns, it goes across the racetrack. It is rolling. I mean, still flying. Hits that wall. It absorbed a ton of impact.
Yeah, we talked about
a huge hit.
Yeah, we talked about the 2 car, but also the fuel cell and safety in the back of that 20 car. To keep that car from catching fire, pretty amazing. 20, 30 years ago, that car would have been in flames.
Green flags back out in the air.
Harvick on the outside. Larson this time with a better restart. On the inside, they make contact into one.
Here they come back into the corner, leaning on each other for a moment. Larson down low. You've got Harvick topside, and they're lined up 2 and 3 wide behind. Further back, Jimmie Johnson. 3 wide to the inside. Johnson goes around hard into the wall. Kurt Busch is there. Paul Menard is involved. Others are trying to avoid Jimmie Johnson, whose playoff hopes have just ended here at lap 104 in the Brickyard 400.
Yep.
Just at the stage. He's
Bring it
going
to
to
us.
take more than
Bring
points.
it to us. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just curious why we were in that position.
There you have it. Jimmie Johnson was down at the bottom of the racetrack, and there was a lot of competition for the position he had. But look at the side of that.
He is on the inside, making up ground here, trying to draft their 3 wide right there. And I don't know, Jimmie just doesn't think he had enough room down here. His teammate very tight on his door. I think that was the Byron car, but I don't know if Jimmie knew they were 3 wide. And we've seen it already at one time over there today with Eric Jones. The car's losing a ton of side force when they get really close together in turn 2. Just sucked the 48 car right around.
Yeah, the one car, Kurt Busch, he just had some issues and just got up the racetrack, and that allowed both of these guys to get underneath them. And you said it. I mean, when you get underneath somebody like that, it's easy to get the air taken off of your spoiler, and just around they went, 3 wide. Just normally doesn't work very well at Indy. It's just not a wide racetrack, enough groove. Well, what do? Jimmie Johnson's got to push. He's got to make something happen. Riding along.
2 out there. 2.
See the view he has.
Still 2. Still 2.
Oh, he's been told 2. The whole time he's been told 2. He's got a spotter.
Yeah, he knows he's got 2 guys out there if he's listening to the spotter. But the 24 just gave him no room. And I don't know if William could have gave him more room or not, but there just wasn't any room.
You know that is, Junior. When you've got a guy underneath you and a guy on the outside of you, the only reference you really have is the car underneath you. That's the one you can see, so you try to get as close to him as you can. Because the guy on the outside might be right on you as we ride along Ryan Newman. He found his way through this.
Come on, bring it on.
And as Jimmie Johnson's hopes go up in this wreck, Ryan Newman, he has more opportunity now.
Another shot at it. Newman has still to make the playoffs.
Hard contact with the 8 car there. We saw Parker Klingerman, who had worked his way up in the top 15 before this caution, before this restart, getting caught up in this as well. There's a lot of guys caught up in this wreck, for sure. But there's a lot of guys that did a lot of smart things to avoid being in this wreck and getting more damage. There's a lot of guys saving their race cars. Look at the 21, the 37. You're thinking at that moment that they're going to be in this wreck. 37 gets her straightened out. 21 has a little bit of damage there. Pretty impressive driving by a lot of these guys.
Yeah, Steve, you said it. Boy, you see that yellow car, Clint Boyer. You know what's going through his mind. We just pitted. Well, you put me behind all these people, and now we got in this wreck, but fortunately he avoided that wreck, Kelly.
Yeah, Jimmie actually drove his car back.
On a restart, Harvick saying the car just a bit tight for fresh
We got a
your
spin
tires.
off in turn 2.
The spin.
Hard contact with the inside wall. Kyle Larson getting loose or getting some help off of turn 2. There you hear it. He lost control of the car off of turn 2 into the inside wall.
And so Kyle Larson, who is already locked into the playoffs, slams into the inside wall, and a break for the 4.
Tale of 2 stories.
See how this all happened off turn 2. There you see him behind, I think, the 10 car. Eric Almirola just loose. I mean, you wouldn't even think with the spoiler on the back of that car that these cars could be that out of shape, that hard to drive, but obviously not comfortable, not in the racetrack. Now he's unfortunately at a bad angle to the inside wall. Nothing to do there that he can prevent from that contact he has there. Luckily, the soft wall on the inside as well lessen the impact.
And Steve, you mentioned a bad break for the 41 might actually end up being a good break for the 41.
By side for second. Bubba Wallace trying to squeeze down to the inside. Logano's there. Bubba's got nowhere to go. Off turn number 1 through the short chute. Battle is on for third. Logano to the inside of Wallace. Contact and Alex Bowman. Contact into the wall. Further back. Crossways of the racetrack. Sliding down to the inside. And everybody avoiding Alex Bowman, who loses control. Now slams into the inside wall.
And how close was that for Clint Bowyer? In the 14, you saw the yellow hood of Clint Bowyer coming right up to the 88 of Alex Bowman, able to avoid.
And he's squeezing him because he knows he has to get the run. The 88 goes through this gigantic slide. A great save. We call that the tank slapper. It goes back and forth and then down the track. Clint Bowyer is like, can we please, 25 laps to go, can we get this over with?
Yeah, look at the Newman in the 6 right behind that 88 as he goes sideways.
You always ask how, when during an accident does a race car driver stop driving? Never. Alex Bowman drove that thing off the outside wall, back and forth, left and right, finally made a little contact. Let's ride with Ryan Newman.
You're about 4, bud. 2 right behind you.
Man.
Stay low. Stay low.
We're not done, man.
Good
25 to go. Restart, restart, restart. This is going to continue to happen, and you see the 88 pretty hard contact. I thought he was going to get away with it. In the end, they're just going too fast. He ran out of real estate. Here it is again, real time. As I mentioned, the 22 and the 43 also made contact. That's where I thought the accident was going to come from, but that wasn't the case. It was the 88 of Alex Bowman.
Bowman hard hit on the inside, hit that tire barrier just at the opening there. So Harvick is going to have to choose once again which line he wants to go with. It's worked for him in the high line. You look at now Suarez.
So it's actually not a huge break, but it's going to help Daniel Suarez, and here's why. He was the free pass, which meant he had to line up behind the lap down cars and everybody. Now he'll be able to pull up and line up right behind the lead lap cars. Those positions, more importantly, those points will be right in front of him. We're going to look at the repair happening on the 88. Air or contact, but without a doubt, the two cars very close together, and the result is Matt Tifft up and heavy contact with the outside wall.
And he was having a great run. You had just referenced him as being one of those that we were a little surprised running up into the top 15, but a great run for Matt Tifft ending this way.
And I think you see in the results of the pressure. The 41 is 9 points out. Is that a move he'd make in the regular season, early in the regular season? I don't know. We don't know what Daniel Suarez would or wouldn't do. But I've seen a lot of races, and I've yet to see him be quite that aggressive, except for the last few races. We saw it with Ryan Newman at Darlington, and now we've seen it with Matt Tifft, where he is willing to put that front.
He is rising to the occasion. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. 2.5 miles around the Brickyard. The 16th spot still up for grabs.
Kevin Harvick is already leaving turn 2. Meanwhile, Daniel Suarez trying to put as much pressure on Paul Menard as possible. It could be too much, too little, too late. Suarez and Menard race their way off turn 2 for the final time this afternoon.
Suarez closes in. This is pretty close. I don't know. He might have an opportunity to try to get a position here, but still not going to be enough.
And making the final turns here at the historic Brickyard, Kevin Harvick has won before. He's going to win again. Kevin Harvick wins the Brickyard 400.
Brickyard 400, baby! Awesome job, guys. Great job. Awesome job. Unbelievable.
And Newman able to stay in front of Suarez, meaning that Newman gets the 16th and
it's a 6 of Newman.
Big smoking car for Ryan Newman, as a lot of damage to the right side of that car. And the caution has come out once again.
He's running 18th. And we talked about
he had a vibration. And Indiana kid Ryan Newman obviously disappointed with what has happened here. The right front tire down. Don't know if that happened prior to.
Back out. You're going so fast. We're going to take a look at it right here. Oh, looks like a flat right front to me.
Well, we talked about it, guys. This racetrack is one of the most abrasive racetracks we go to. A lot of times we unload race cars here and can't make 6 or 7 laps without putting tires on it. Now you're starting this race, it just makes you wonder if it didn't wear through the tire.
As they work on the 6, another driver who is out of this.
Such a nasty, nasty angle into turn 3. One of the fastest parts of the racetrack for these guys. And, you know, it's just, there's no practice. It's a green racetrack. It's incredibly abrasive. We've seen this track just destroy tires throughout a tire test. These tires, even this far into the race, are still not able to go through an entire run. Steve, you talked about it, how this track has grooves in it, and it's like a cheese grater to these tires and takes quite a while for this place to work in. There's been no laps on it.
Did he get a big enough shove into turn number 1? Here comes Hamlin on the inside.
The key right here for Austin is just to almost break even with him through this part of the corner, and then he should beat him off the corner. Should have more momentum down the back straightaway. And here comes the push from Harvick.
Harvick's going to go 3 wide.
Harvick
almost into the
lead.
grass.
All the way to the bottom of the racetrack, and Harvick takes the lead at Indy.
And I thought he was going to push him.
I flinched.
You have to take those runs. You have to take every run you get, especially against Denny Hamlin, who looks like he has the best car.
Ryan Blaney hard into the wall.
Out, Steve.
Oh, my goodness.
Blaney was running 12th. We saw he got damaged on pit road earlier and fought back up to 12th.
Let's see what happened here.
Side here, left side.
Oh, it's hard to tell.
Was he and Brad, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Wasn't that Brad Keselowski, his teammate?
Must have been some contact or something that got Blaney turned around. I don't know if Blaney was on the inside and got loose into Brad or what. Or if he had someone. Let's take a look at Logano. Oh, looks like the 12 gets loose. Hard to tell if anybody was in his left rear quarter panel. Another look, you know, this will be helpful. There you see Blaney.
Oh, yeah.
Like sit down into the corner. I think
he just got loose, right?
Yeah.
Carried some speed in there, got loose. Brad Keselowski, great. He must have saw him out of his peripheral vision, chased it up the track so the 12 wouldn't take him with him. The racetrack. Those leaders of Kenseth and Kyle Busch are running some great laps. Now they have to come to pit road, but man, it just shows if you can get out front. Oh, boy. Wow. Huge.
And this is going to be a caution right here. Big hit again. This time it's Alex Bowman in the 88.
That looks a lot like Eric Jones's wreck. He was running 8th.
pass down into turn 1. They're coming at it.
Wow. Again, a really hard hit there. Looked like the right front went down.
I don't even know how to describe what that feels like. It
onboard camera.
And Rick, let's remember, you know, we saw a restart and the craziness, but the control of this race changed on that green flag.
Oh, hard into the wall. Denny Hamlin from the lead slams into the wall. Again, we see a right side, right front failure, and Hamlin hard into the wall.
Down here if you can. Catch your breath. Talk. Just catch your breath, but they're with you now.
Off into turn 1 and the right front goes.
So some big impacts today. Such a big hit.
It's so surprising to me too, because we've just been talking about it for the last several laps about the clean air that he's enjoyed. And
one thing you wonder, Junior, is, you know, with the cooler temperatures, right? It's gotten
more speed.
Yeah, it's probably faster than it was. Clean air, just carrying so much speed. You just wonder if that, you know, that extra pressure on the tires.
And you have to acknowledge that his teammate Jones had an issue.
Yep.
The 18, Kyle Busch talked about having a vibration just before Jones had his accident. I really wish we could show you what this racetrack surface looks like and how those grooves are cut into it. They kind of run parallel with the race car. Very sharp.
Yeah, 26 laps on that right front tire. You have to ask yourself, as you look through the rest of the field, what does everybody else do now? With only 5 laps to go, you would definitely want to stay out. We're hearing a lot of buzz about some other possible vibrations in the top 5 or 10. And as a driver, you come by and you see this, or as a crew chief, you see this, and now you have to perhaps change your opinion or your mind on how you're going to manage this race. Chris Gabehart, Purdue grad, just up the road. I knew it meant the world to him to try to come here and try to win this race.
You're trying to hang on to a top 5 here.
White flag is out. One more time around. Kevin Harvick. A huge lead over Matt Kenseth. Down the backstretch for the final time. Harvick, Denny Hamlin. They've been the dominant 2 cars all of 2020. Hamlin crashes out as they were battling for the lead. Now Harvick trying to go back-to-back at the most famous racetrack in the world. Coming out of turn 4, Kevin Harvick is going to see the checkered flag. He wins again at the Brickyard.
Brickyard 400. Awesome job.
Big Red behind him. Couple cars in the grass here. Austin
Benedetto
Dillon.
and Austin Dillon.
The fence. Oh, and another aggressive move there. Watch here. Austin just doesn't give him the room, and Matt kind of bombed in there.
And that 34 that came through Michael McDowell ended up in 7th. So that position they were racing for was going to be well inside the top 10.
Yeah.
How about McDowell in 7th?
Reddick.
That small team continued.
Reddick finishing 8th.
Down, sure enough, the carcass is now off of that car.
Yeah, another flat left rear. We've heard the 17 has had a couple of these. This is another Ford. And then the actual tread of the tire finally comes off, putting debris everywhere. This is something we've seen in Indy before. We've seen wear issues here, but we've also seen left side tires. Lower air gains more speed, but you can't get too low.
And we've seen blocking at this racetrack in every form of racing. And right here, Joey Logano got blocked big time by Bubba Wallace, and that almost got big right along with Joey. Well, it's a good thing he lifted.
Yeah.
A good thing he came out of the gas. It was going to get ugly.
Flag, and we're back underway. So Chase Elliott got out of line there. And that third line is Kyle Busch. Steve, you said the goal was to get out in front and go as hard as you can until you have to come to pit road.
We heard Denny Hamlin. No, I'm sorry. It was Chase Elliott in his interview that said, well, you just want to be the front of your strategy. Oh, man, big wreck.
Oh, and hit again.
Oh,
that's
impact.
a 24 of William Byron. A.J. Allmendinger in the 16 involved as well. Caution has come out as those 2 cars have stopped. Again, that's on the backstretch after they exited turn 2. Allmendinger is rolling once again. Good shot there of seeing William climb out of the car. Here's how it happened.
Oh, somebody got into the right rear of.
Looked like the 22 potentially of Logano behind him.
It looked like there was two
Or
cars
12,
two cars or three cars three wide. Let's take a look right here. You see, oh, you're going to see it right here, the 21, 41, and 24. So the 41, if we back that up and watch that one more time, the 41 is trying to get three wide between the 21 and the 24, trying to make it three wide. I don't believe Harrison Burton or William Byron knew that they were three wide. This will be a great look right here.
Oh, they're hitting each other there. So he's in his right rear quarter panel. You're right. It was just everybody, three cars. Here you go. Here's a great shot of it, Steve. So stop it right there. Stop it right there. So the 14 car, they are touching those two cars, the 24 and the 14. They're hitting each other there. And still contact. And here comes the 41. And he makes contact. It's just those three cars trying to go in the same spot. But it started with the 14 of Briscoe and Byron making contact.
They were pushing and shoving, and the 21 of Harrison was exiting the corner like he was too wide. He doesn't know that the 41's in there. So, I mean, this is what happens when everybody tries to fill that hole. But, Jeff, to your point, on board makes a difference. Let's see what happens to the 14, why he loses pace. It's crazy. I think he went down to third gear.
Yeah,
that's where it all started. Was he lost pace? It's just tight racing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what we said earlier. You just gotta push and make everything happen.
Right. So it's easy to say, okay, who's at fault or what's the cause? Well, the 41 going three wide is the cause of the accident, but I don't blame Ryan Preece, because if you don't try to go in that hole, what do you say, Jeff? You're never going to go anywhere, right? I mean, you could argue that it's too early in the race. You could argue all these things, but the racing in the back of the pack is so aggressive. You almost just have to. That's the idea. So if you're good on fuel, we saw smoke on the 19.
And the 19 into the wall. It looked like the left rear tire went down.
Contact with Larson.
Oh, and another wreck behind him. The 4. Josh Berry gets into the wall.
That's just a chain reaction. It's so difficult to see at this racetrack in front when things start happening. Everybody's single file. It's just very difficult to know what's going on.
It looked to me like the left rear tire blew. We saw that little bit of smoke for the 19.
To make a move here, contact, and then right here, that puts them three wide. Chastain tries to roll behind them, and the contact's there. With Larson, I don't know.
I think the one car all the way back that hit him on the straightaway, I believe the 19 now has a tire going down. Unless that's the contact with the 5. I don't know, because there was contact with the 1 earlier.
Yeah, I think that this wreck is because of the contact with the 5.
It's never good when we have to dissect which contact caused the wreck.
Yeah, see, he's in there, and he's got good pace. He's able to keep pace, and then there's contact here. Right there is contact. And that gets him up the racetrack.
Yep.
And now he's along for the ride. I'm not sure tire's down.
Yeah, so he said the 1 car.
Yeah,
so I was looking
at the 1.
Well, I was looking at the Chastain, but I'm with you, Jeff, right? Then the contact that we saw was with the 5. Then the 4 kind of gets turned around.
Yeah, a lot of damage to the front for Josh Berry.
So they're 3 wide here. Chastain lifts. He doesn't want to be 3 wide on the outside. Rolls in behind. There they make contact. The 19 and the 5 make contact.
Yep.
I don't see where Chastain ever make. Right here they make contact.
Yeah, a lot going on for sure between the 5, the 19, and the 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 wide down the straightaway at Indy, and you know, it's going to happen, but things happen quickly, Rick. A lot of times when you're in the car, you're not completely sure what happens. Just ride along with Larson.
Contact there. More contact.
Yeah.
along with Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I don't think that 19 ever had a tire down. I just think he's out of the groove.
Got up the racetrack, and then behind them, Josh Berry in the 4. Let's listen in on the 19 radio again.
The 5, I was just trying to hold on to it.
Junior. Chase Briscoe making up row 2, and green flag back in the air.
That was a great launch by the 11 car, Denny Hamlin.
Oh, and into the turn 1 wall early. The 22 of Logano and the 24. It can't be the 24. 84 of Jimmie Johnson.
Well, business is picking up. Clearly, caution before this one. Now this one, all on restarts.
Yeah, 3rd restart accident today.
Yeah, but you have to see what happens. A lot of 3 wide guys blocking. It's 77.
The 12. 12 was sideways. Looks like he hit someone.
Yeah, but watch right here. See that in 3/4 of the way back, Hocevar in the middle trying to make it 3 wide. They're coming to the corner. Everybody's got to start slowing down and trying to get to their line. Blaney doesn't know he's there, pinches him off. That's where it starts.
That was Austin Dillon's view, vantage point.
Big impacts for Jimmie Johnson and Joey Logano. Here's Joey Logano's ride. Just listen. Yep. It happens before you know it in many cases, and that's what happened there. Joey's pointed the wrong direction before he even knew why or what happened. It's frustrating. You're trying to, this race means so much. And just a victory.
Last pitted at 107. Tyler Reddick following down pit road. And a caution, Rick, maybe on the racetrack. Martin Truex Jr.
Martin Truex Jr. up toward the wall, and the 9 was on pit road already. So when pit road closes, he's already there. He can do his stop.
Yeah, and he shouldn't lose his lap now because the rest of the field has slowed down. The 45 of Tyler.
See the left rear tire is down on that 19.
Yeah, he was about 3 seconds off pace, you know, after that damage. So car just wasn't right. Ended up rubbing the left rear and cutting it.
So that brings the caution out for the 7th time. Advantage who, Steve?
He's thinking he can pass him. He's just wanting Blaney to be looking in the mirror to distract him.
Coming out. Oh, we got a caution that comes out. It's the 8 of Kyle Busch.
And you heard a radio, max save, max save. I can tell you that could have been anybody in the top 20 on the radio about saving fuel.
Kyle Busch was running 6th. Now with the caution coming out, it's going to make it to 160 laps. Now there's going to be more. Let's ride along.
Oh,
contact with the 11.
Oh, it's been that kind of year. Kyle Busch just cannot have anything go right. And see how low he enters? See his car coming up the racetrack? His entry was so low because of the block that he wasn't able to make the corner. And that's what I kept talking about Blaney. What he was able to do is enter that low and still stay on the bottom. See, up the racetrack.
Yeah.
It's just such an early entry.
And that shows you how good of a job the 12 is doing.
Exactly.
Because he's entering that low and it's working out.
Exactly.
Happened just behind the leaders. And now, fuel save as you see. Blaney on the outside, Larson on the inside. Green flag back in the air. 2 laps of racing at Indy.
Who else is going to run out? And a wreck in turn 1. The caution comes out. There'll be another restart.
Yeah, for the 4th time today, we've seen a big pile up on the restart.
John Hunter Nemechek involved in the 42. Oh, there's Denny Hamlin, who had just come to pit road. He's involved.
Guys, are you okay?
Chase Briscoe has damage to that number 14.
And all these guys with damage, hope everyone's okay.
6 pits. That moves up and let the 5 start on the front row.
That's correct.
Oh. Big contact in 1.
That's a big shot. I think that's the 42 right there, the white car is.
And such a good day John Hunter had. Just a block, another block. So Nemechek made a very late block getting into 1. Watch this. See, Nemechek came down the racetrack. Hemrick was there. Big impact. Gosh, those are big wrecks.
Nemechek glanced off that inside, the barrier in between pit road and the outside wall.
Yeah, see, here comes Hemrick. And, yeah, he just, Hemrick couldn't get slowed down like Nemechek expected that he could. They were on corner entry as well.
Yeah.
Which makes it even that much harder to gauge it.
You see the red on the NBC logo. The cars have been stopped on the front straightaway.
Glancing blow off that inside wall.
And the red flag, I don't believe, has anything to do with fuel load. That NASCAR's not really ever done that. Just this track is so narrow that they have to get the cleanup underway in turn 1 with all the cars sitting down there.
The pace car has gone on to pit road. Larson in control, Blaney on the outside. The second overtime, it'll be 2 laps. A great launch for Larson. Reddick way back. Here comes Blaney on the outside. Larson easily by Blaney, and you see Blaney wiggling. Does he have enough fuel?
Now can Larson hold off Reddick?
Oh! Spinner on the back stretch, and is he going to make contact? He does with the inside wall. We'll see if he continues to roll. They stay green if that car will continue to roll.
No, he's trying to roll.
That's Ryan Preece, and he is trying to roll, but he's got a flat right rear tire. Out of 4, will they see the white flag? Larson in front, Reddick running second. One more time around. And the 41 still isn't moving.
I don't see any way NASCAR lets them race by this.
And there's the caution. Larson's going to do it. Larson is going to win the Brickyard 400.
We get back to the line.